Alrighty, you guys should be able to hear me. I can see the levels and everything. Quick reboot of OBS and reboot of the machine should have fixed it. Yeah. Let me know if you can hear me and I'll boot the game. Hello, Tongs. How you doing? Yeah, thought so. Cool. All right. So, Steve, you want to talk just to make sure you're going all right? Stupid OBS.
Oh, yeah. Can anyone hear me? And do you want to stream in the meantime to me?
Yeah. I'm juggling. There we go. We should be back. We should be ready and rip-roaring to go, as they say. Steve's volume's still good. I had to make a few adjustments with the audio. Should be fine. Steve, give us your best mic test.
Mic test. Tell your men to drop their guns, Ming. Tell your men to drop their guns, Ming. How'd it come through then?
Repeating himself for double Steve? Yeah. Alright, we'll load it here at least. Alright, so you got a bit of the recap. Sorry, I couldn't concentrate on Steve's recap because I was trying to fix the audio, but Steve, you think you covered everything?
Yeah, perfectly. I did every detail.
Every detail? Perfect.
Yeah, didn't leave anything out.
Awesome.
Yeah, I forgot that it was overnight that we started.
That's right, we did go for a bit of a sleep. Did you mention the fact, turn Steve down a little bit, we can do that. Did you mention the fact, Steve, that we found out that her dad had gone into a coma because he'd been to the Barrow earlier?
Okay, missed out one thing. Yeah, that was, I guess, the big revelation is the Barrow that we're going to excavate. Our dad is the one that caused the accident or had the accident that caused it to be shut down, and that's why the owner won't now let us use it. Except for Mr. Pigeon or Mr. Smiley or Mr. Shepherd.
Mr. Shoulder?
Whatever. Shoulder, yeah, that was the name I was trying to think of in the recap. I called him Mr. Shepherd. His word makes maybe the owner will still let us view it or excavate it, but it was an accident, and we've just realized the dad is the one that got attacked, I guess, but it's a supernatural type accident where he was just in a coma.
Yeah, which kind of makes me think as well, the title screen before you actually hit new game or continue has her sort of looking out the carriage of a train, and you can see like a, lack of better term, munted version of herself looking back in the reflection. Maybe that's kind of like what if when you look in the Barrow, it sort of captures your soul or something and your body becomes limp?
Maybe.
I don't know. I'll have to see exactly. Yeah, Tongs, there was a gnome who looked an awful lot like the piss cat, to be honest. Like, it had the same piss cat face. So yeah, potentially it could be the same thing. Yes. The gnome also reminded me a little bit of, Steve, do you remember the kids book? It's an Australian kids book called The Magic Pudding.
No.
Oh. So there's a character
But I might have hated anything with pudding in the title when I was a kid.
Oh.
Because my dad used to call me Pudding Head.
I remember that. Yeah, totally. I reckon I've heard him call you that within the last 5 years.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like we've got a book. Go check it out.
What's this?
What is this? An egg attached to it.
There's a strange stone strapped to the cover.
Did you mention how we defaced the special religious stone?
Yes, so we could then give it away. It wasn't even for, so I can preserve this properly. It's like, we'll just give it to this dude, so he'll then let us, I mean, it's ours, but we got into an area we weren't supposed to take our crate back. So not really stealing because it's our property, but we still broke into a thing because he let us, because we gave him something that we just broke off this natural.
I'm pretty sure it was the lamp oil section, wasn't it? Like we borrowed the lamp oil from
Oh,
his lamp.
yeah, it was just for lamp oil. That's all it was
Yeah,
for.
even worse. All right, looks like we've got a diary here. Day 1. Arrived after a decent day's ride from Bakewell. This is every time I read this, I want a Bakewell tart. This is a curious place. Locals seem distant. I'm to meet my local contact tomorrow, so it would be an early night for me. I shall try and keep a diary of my stay here and not give up by day 3 of the excavation as usual. Despite the thrill of possible new discoveries, I cannot stop thinking about my dear wife and wonder if I should have left her in her current state. I must have faith that she will conquer the bout of illness. I'm wondering if this is from Shoulder, if this is Shoulder's diary.
I thought it was the dad, especially when said about his wife's current state, but then he mentions illness. I thought the current state was going to be pregnancy. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Okay. We'll see. Day 4. True to form, my journal has been abandoned. Let that not speak for the excitement I feel for this excavation. After much preparation, we dig tomorrow. Such an exceptional site with a unique history. As for the dangers, we shall meet them head first. We are prepared. They're not prepared. I also sought out a local wise woman yesterday, and she provided me with a tincture for my beloved's nausea gravidarum. I'm sure she'll be pleased with it. Lo, a place of miracles. A planted seed sprouted before the eyes of illuminated a path. Nature's laws hold no meaning here, but I clutch my tablet with the knowledge that it shall end this. Okay, P is rho symbol. Theta is like an EZ hybrid.
No, that's. I think the P is rho, but that's an S. That's sigma in the middle.
Oh, I'm reading what's on here. We'll figure that out later. I'm just reading what's on the page. Epsilon in brackets and then 11. We found the code was simply in the singularity of characters. All eyes must face towards the 7th acontic. Interesting that it's got singularity and eyes in red. Oh god, looks like we've got a puzzle coming up. When the sun and 2 moons meet, the guardian shall be defeated. It's like 2 snakes. A dead language reveals the path. For thou art the moon, the chief the stars. Listen to things that I have said. Follow the words of my mouth. Reveal thyself to me. I heard a whisper, not once, again and again. I will pour out my spirit. I will pour out my spirit. I will pour out my spirit.
It's like a Game of Thrones thing. For the moon, chief of the stars. Isn't that in Game of Thrones?
Let's see. Is there a code in here? Stars, listen, mouth are all in capitals. Oh, moon, stars, listen, mouth. Wow, we need some context.
And the third, pour out my spirit, is highlighted.
Yeah.
It appears to be a journal, full of hogwash.
I thought
I
so.
don't recognise the handwriting. Maybe Stanley knows more about it.
Good old Stanley.
Good morning. How's your head, Miss Bateman? That were quite the tune you treated us to last night.
Oh, she got drunk,
To
that's
be
right.
honest, Stanley, I felt better. I take it you slid this journal under my door?
I beg your pardon?
The journal, Stanley.
I certainly did no such thing. Nor could have anyone else. You're the only guest staying here.
What's the meaning of all this? Do you propose that it manifested itself out of thin air?
Well,
Slid it to myself.
I'm sorry. I just don't understand how else it could have got there.
I mean, anyone could have done it.
I see a lipstick over here shining as well. The spirit will pour itself out, or the spirit will get the hose again.
Are
And
you
the
sure there
spirit
was no
will
one
listen to
else here
Goodbye Horses.
overnight?
without doubt.
How very, very peculiar.
So, what does it say inside?
It says you're a twat.
take a look?
Well, I can't make head nor tail of it.
Neither can I.
Maybe someone else in the village can help you with it.
What do you make of this stone?
Oh yeah, we haven't checked the stone.
That's a funny looking thing. It's got a cockerel on it.
Yes, but have you seen anything like it?
Never.
Excuse me. His cat dream or the other dream?
Do you ever have strange dreams, Stanley?
Me? I sleep as sound as a baby.
I had one such dream last night. It was so vivid.
What were it about?
I was at Hobbs Barrow,
Oh?
but everything was different. Great peaks soared in the distance. And there was a creature.
A creature, you say?
Yes, a short, robed fellow, eyes as black as pitch. It told me that my father had been there in Hobbs Barrow many years ago, but something went wrong, and the creature helped him escape. It said that I would find proof in the morning.
Oh, the journal. You've had a premonition, lass.
Please, Stanley, I've no time for that nonsense. But I'll admit it's a strange coincidence.
Now, what did I tell you about Hobbs Barrow?
That I should leave it alone?
Aye.
Hogwash.
Your dream reminds me of a story from my childhood. An old folk tale about Hobbs Barrow.
What is this folk tale you mention?
Well, when I were a wee boy, there were talk of a goblin. They say he lived inside Hobbs Barrow.
Checks out so
The
far.
name, Hobbs Barrow. Hob, coming from hobgoblin, of course.
Ah.
Unfortunately, I don't remember anything else about it.
I was told not to believe in such fairy tales, Stanley.
Don't close your mind to such things, lass. I'm sure Mr. Shoulder will tell you more.
Perhaps, if I ever meet him. Goodbye.
See you soon.
That was a pretty shit story.
Good morning, Mr. Kemp.
Good day,
Because
Miss
he didn't really
Tompkins.
cover
I'm
anything.
here for his lordship's paper.
Sorry, lass. Mr. Price hasn't dropped them off this morning. I heard he actually left the village yesterday.
Indeed, I can vouch for that.
Ma'am?
Good day.
Oh dear. His lordship won't be pleased.
My sincerest apologies, Miss Tompkins.
I'll come back in a few days. Ta-ra.
Goodbye.
So Stanley's like, that reminds me of a fairy tale. Let me tell you. And like, oh, okay, juicy details. Oh, there was Hobbs Barrow. There was a goblin that lived there. That's why it's called Hobbs Barrow. The end. Cool.
Yeah, 'cause it wasn't a story. It was more like, you know, where the name came from would have been more logical.
Mm.
Oh, it's the hand knife.
Oh, yeah.
It's doing the aliens thing.
Goodness me, I can't budge it.
Be careful, Miss Bateman. You'll cut yourself. I spent all morning trying to get that bloody thing out.
Sword
I
and
shall be
stone.
having words with that scoundrel next time he shows his face.
We'll show the way the true queen of
Curses.
We have our very
Of
own
Barley.
Excalibur. It's
Yule.
all yours if you can pull it out, King Arthur.
Mm. That's exactly where I was going with it. Let's see. What do we have? Could we lube it up with a worm? Maybe.
I can't see how that will help me.
Yeah. Oh, chisel it out.
I do not wish to damage Mr. Kemp's table any further than it already has been. No, that won't work.
Yeah, we need some piss tissues.
I can't see how that will help me.
Let's just
No,
rub the
that's
cat
not
on
it.
the knife.
Too much piss on the cat. Well,
Jesus.
oh, maybe this.
I do not wish to damage Mr. Kemp's table any further than it already has been. No, that won't achieve anything useful.
Maybe we just don't have the. I'll try both clicks.
The knife is stuck deep in the table. I'm not strong enough to pull this out with my bare hands. I don't need to use the filthy lavatories.
This lady has been here for like 2 days now without one single
I've
peep.
no use for ashes. Stanley is yet to set the fire for today.
What about oil from the lamp?
No, that's not it. Who is Miss Tompkins?
A housemaid in the employ of Panswick Manor. She comes by to pick up his lordship's weekly paper.
I'm surprised newspapers are available in Bewley.
Aye,
What's she
his
trying to say?
lordship gets what he wants.
It'd be more of a newsletter, wouldn't it?
Lord Panswick likes to keep
I
up with
forgot about
affairs
him.
from outside of Bewley.
Aye, he has many interests around the country.
What sort of interest?
Oh, we're waiting for the
Lordship's
guys
affairs
felling
are
the
his own
tree
business.
to be
Mm.
done.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Yeah.
Because Hobbs Barrow is past that.
Hobbs Barrow's in the farm. We're able to get to Hobbs Barrow.
Okay, we need to get past them for something though, didn't we?
Yeah, we'll need to go past those trees. I don't know what's there, but
Right.
Ooh, what's
I need to
happening here?
convince Mr. Bryden to let me excavate Hobbs Barrow and find out where this journal came from.
Either doing some washing or she found a
Curses.
baby.
I forgot I had this worm
dumped.
in my pocket. Poor thing is dead now. Rest in peace, Kenneth.
oh, is it the worm?
Of course it would be, yeah.
Why were we walking around with? Maybe there was like a secret thing. What are you?
Good day.
I'm still setting up my stall. Come back later.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Can borrow some more oil. Blacksmith. Oh, it's you, Steve.
Hmm.
Good morning, Father Roach.
Ah, Miss Bateman. What a pleasure to see you again. Have you tracked down Mr. Shoulder yet?
Don't get me started.
I'll take that as a no.
Indeed.
He's been dead for 6 years.
Do you recognize this journal?
What a tatty old thing. You ought to take better care of your possessions, Miss Bateman.
It's not mine.
Then whose is it?
That's precisely what I'm trying to find out.
I'm afraid I can't help you. I haven't seen it before.
What do you make of this stone?
I don't recognize the symbol from any Christian iconography. Did you make it yourself?
No, never mind. What brings you to the square today?
I'm meeting a couple of young congregation members to go over some scripture. You're welcome to join us.
Thank you, Father Roach, but I have quite a busy day ahead of me.
Couldn't think of a
We
bigger
will be
waste
at
of
St.
time.
Edmunds, should you wish to join us later.
What do you know of Lord Panswick?
Oh yes, a rather important fellow around here. His vast land holdings give many a steady employment.
I hear he is renovating an old chapel on his land.
Aye, I've heard such reports. He believes this to be a godless land, something I wholeheartedly disagree with. To which god his chapel will be dedicated to remains a matter of concern.
Why do you say that?
Oh, my apologies. Don't listen to my oafish
You're a town gossip,
conjecture.
sir.
Let us move on.
Thanks for your time.
Lord be with you.
The blacksmith looks closed. Beating raw metal into a fine object is an admirable skill.
All right, let's go to the bushes, like the Bakewell tarts is gone too.
Yeah.
Forest.
We didn't end up buying one, did we?
Couldn't afford it.
Fucking Kenneth didn't give us our money.
Maybe we should have put the worm on the grave. We did curse the blacksmith because we gave him that thing. Pass this down.
No, that's not it.
Got picked up by authorities for defacing
I don't wish to dig it up.
the natural landscape.
Yep. We should go back there. Maybe he'll be drawn and quartered.
Or tarred and feathered.
Mr. Shoulder continues to prove himself elusive.
Well, let's bust down his door with a chisel.
I can't see how that will help me.
Kill his chickens.
I don't wish to...
Doubt it's gonna.
Send him a message.
Oh yeah.
I do not wish to harass the hen.
Is it harassment if you kill them? I don't know. Oh, that's right. We've got fast travel. Forgot about that.
That's the 2 moons and the sun.
Turnwood. Oh,
Thomasina!
old mate.
Good morning, Arthur.
You look a bit addled. Are you feeling all right?
The
I'm not
pervert.
used to drinking as much as we did.
Aye, my head is pounding.
To tell you the truth, Arthur, I've had a somewhat puzzling morning.
Oh?
Someone slipped this journal under the door of my room.
Could have been him, actually.
Whose journal is it?
I have no idea. The text refers to some sort of excavation.
Stanley must be playing tricks on you.
He swore his innocence. I thought perhaps you might have done it?
No, it wasn't me. That's for certain.
Oh, I want to slip you
Somehow
something
I have a
else.
clear memory of last night.
I wonder who left me this journal then.
Mind if I take a closer look?
Please go ahead.
Reading this in real time.
Mhm.
There we go.
The writings of a madman.
I don't disagree. Did the sketches mean anything to you?
No, not at all. But they turn me stomach. You might want to show this to Mother Mildred.
Oh, Mildred. Did you guys ever have school journals that you'd share around to the girls or the boys at school that you wanted to get? You'd write little things in there and it'd be sent around from class to class. Is that a thing? I think year 7, 8, and 9. That was huge.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
What do you make of this stone?
It's a good shape for skimming across water. What is it?
I'm not sure. It was strapped to the cover of the journal.
How mysterious.
It'd always be kind of like the how would you put it? Like when you wanted to kiss somebody, you'd usually go get your friend to go over to somebody and say, "Hey, will you kiss my friend?" kind of thing. Well, the diary or the journal would play the exact same part where you'd actually write notes to people and then share it with them, and then you'd get the note back. Kind of like, not really pen pals, I guess. I don't know.
I thought that only happened in TV,
Nah.
American TV.
It's huge.
Shouldn't you be manning the station?
The line is down. Track damage between Bewley and Bakewell.
Oh, what?
No trains for a day or more.
Does that mean I'm stranded here?
For the time being, Thomasina.
Capital.
That's right. She uses
What's her problem though? Because she wants to. It's not like she wants to leave.
I think
She's
old
doing
mate,
excavation.
wasn't Kenneth going to come when he could? Potentially.
Maybe I don't think I didn't think it was necessarily next day though. I thought he hiked out altogether.
I had a splendid time last night.
Aye, I even remember most of it this time. Thanks for listening to me going on. I really appreciate it.
The feeling is mutual. Thank you too, Arthur. Who is Mother Mildred?
Some think her a witch.
Oh, nice.
A witch.
Aye, she might be able to help you with the symbols.
Where can I find her?
She lives alone in a little cottage within Herne Wood here. You shouldn't have too much trouble finding her.
Thanks, Arthur.
She's past
You're
those
welcome.
trees. What's the bet?
Yeah, because we
Why
haven't seen
do
her
people
before.
think Mother Mildred is a witch? Just because a
green
woman lives
skin,
alone
hook
in the
nose.
woods doesn't mean she flies about on a broomstick.
Floats in water.
There's more to it than that. They say
Weighs
she
the same as a
lies
duck.
with demons.
Who are they?
Oh, you know, local folk.
Hogwash.
Some also go to her for potions and spells.
Spells? Come now, Arthur.
Truth be told, she's a nice old lady. I sometimes see her foraging in the brambles around here.
Will she burn at the stake sometime soon?
You might think us backward in Bewley, Thomasina, but we're not that backward.
Sorry, Arthur. I only meant to tease. Goodbye.
Ta-ra!
Tongs, you're funny. But that is the kind of stuff that you would see in said diaries for sure. Oh, we're having a flashback.
Thomasina, dear, come say goodbye to your father. Come on now, don't make him wait.
I don't want to.
Aren't you going to miss me?
I hate you, Daddy.
Those are strong words for such a little lady.
I want to come with you.
We've been through this, little bird. You can't come with me this time, but we'll go to Seaborough next month. I promise. Oh, what a dig that shall be.
I hate you.
Well, I love you. See you soon, little bird.
That was the last he ever spoke to.
Yeah, except that's the wrong dig for that to be the last one. Because he has to go to wherever this place was. I kept mentioning the county name, but I forget what the county is.
Bueller?
That's a town.
Oh, there she is. Digging in the brambles. Ooh.
Oh.
That's a poisonous one. That one.
They look somewhat like juniper berries.
Lisa would love that. She loves
And he'd
gin.
make gin out of them.
What are those berries you're picking?
An ancient breed, no good for eating. However, they do have some medicinal
A
qualities.
breed of
I
berry.
see.
Made up. Those berries taste like burning.
Please, forgive my intrusion. Are you Mother Mildred?
Some call me that. I prefer Mildred Walker, given as that's my name.
Apologies. Thomasina Bateman. I think we met at Bewley Station.
I take it Panswick
Oh,
may
yeah.
have cleared off. Good riddance. Those ruffians would cut their own noses off if he asked them to. How's your sightseeing going then? Save your words, young lady. I know you're no sightseer, and I know exactly why you're in Bewley. You won't get far by lying to me again.
I'm sorry,
I recognised you the moment I laid eyes on you at the station.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, yeah, it's quite a striking family resemblance. You have your father's eyes, Miss Bateman.
You knew my father?
Such piercing blue eyes he had. What a handsome young man. William.
He was here, in Bewley.
Oh, yes. A long time ago, mind. 25 years by my reckoning. But I'll never forget those eyes.
Maybe she's our mother.
Yeah.
Why was my father
Maybe
in
he had an
Bewley?
affair with her.
You were helping Samuel Bryden excavate Hobbs Barrow.
You must be jesting.
Do I look like I'm jesting?
How did
I
you
would
come to
jest
meet
him.
my
I would
father?
say,
One
what
might
would you
say
do with
I
a
have a
elephant with three
reputation in
balls?
these parts. Folks from all around come to me for help with their ailments. Hernwood is abundant with flora that, if mixed correctly, will cure almost any ill. Your father must have caught wind of this, as one day he came to me, asking for a cure.
A cure for what?
Your mother was with child, and she was suffering the most terrible nausea.
Adam.
I made something
was-
to help her.
Yes,
The
it was her
journal.
dad's journal.
This was entered in the journal. It belongs to my father.
What journal?
Take a look at this.
Take a look at this.
A passage recalls meeting a local wise woman to seek a tincture for his beloved's nausea gravidarum.
Aye, that's me. I made the tincture for him.
This is incredible.
You don't recognise your own father's handwriting?
It's been so many years since I've seen it.
Do you recognize your parents' handwriting, Steve? Could you pick it out of a lineup, you think?
Oh, from a lineup.
Yeah. So
Maybe when I
just-
was little, but yeah, I wouldn't have seen it.
What about you, Tongs? You reckon you can pick your parents' handwriting?
What do you make of this stone?
I-A-W. I haven't a clue. Perhaps it's an old folk trinket, or a talisman of some kind. The moors are steeped in folklore.
Sure are.
What can you tell me about the excavation?
Well, not much. I only met your father twice. The last time he asked me if I knew anything about binding magic.
And once was between the bed
Binding
sheets.
magic.
He said he needed it for the excavation.
Hogwash. My father is a man of logic and reason. Why would he be asking about such nonsense?
Perhaps you don't know him as well as you think you do. Anyway, I know nothing of magic and told him so. He seemed disappointed. I never saw him again, but I understand the excavation went ahead.
Some witch you
Samuel
are.
Bryden hanged himself not long after.
Hanged?
Reason enough for you to
That's-
stay well clear of that place.
You never
Writing's
saw my
better
father
than
again
Star
after
Trek
the
Picard.
excavation.
No, I always assumed he just went home.
Who excavated Hobbs Barrow alongside Samuel Bryden and my father?
Samuel Shoulder.
From memory, it were just the two of them.
Oh.
What do you think my father meant by binding magic?
I've no idea. He didn't explain more and I didn't wish to pry.
This just doesn't sound like my father at all.
You'll have to ask him yourself.
I'm afraid my father has been incapacitated since I was a child. He cannot speak nor move.
Terrible. Oh, I'm sorry.
She could
He
cure
said
him.
that the flora here could cure almost any ill.
Almost, my dear. But your father's affliction sounds beyond my abilities.
That's a cop-out. I could say that my bottle of water will cure any illness, or near any illness, and then just use that same line.
The landlord of the Plough and Furrow told me about a folk tale associated with Hobbs Barrow. Something about a goblin. Are you familiar with it?
No doubt there is such a tale. Name any beastie you can think of and someone round here will have a story about it.
My thoughts precisely.
Bigfoot.
Charles Bryden mentioned there was a third man involved in the excavation.
Is that so? Well, you'd best ask him about it. He knows more than I do.
Can you tell me anything about Leonard Shoulder?
I know of him, as is the nature of such a small town. I also know he invited you here.
Little escapes you, Miss Walker.
So they say. My path rarely crosses with his. Let's put it that way. But he's a nice enough fellow.
I see. Do you know Lord Panswick?
I know his labourers make a mess of these woods.
Saku.
The man himself hasn't graced me with his presence.
You've never met him?
Not since he were a wee lad. A maid brought him to me with a sore stomach. It were all the rich food they were feeding
You
him.
didn't say Saku Sub before?
Thank you for your help, Ms. Walker.
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's when you're having troubles.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Saku. Appreciate it. Boy, were we having troubles. OBS can be such a fickle thing sometimes. Alright, we didn't actually have a
Chicken. I know you said cockerel.
cockerel.
That's just because he's a filth bag.
I've already shown her that. I shouldn't enter uninvited. The cottage is nestled cosily in the woods. Ms. Walker is concentrating hard on her berry picking.
Yeah. Well, that's all I've got there.
Miss Bateman,
Oh. Good.
Yes.
remember what I told you when we first met? You're better off waiting for the next train back to the city.
Why?
Something terrible happened to Samuel Bryden in that barrow. Whatever they found down there, I'd wager it got to your father too. Tell me you won't disturb Hobbs Barrow.
I can't make that promise, Mildred.
Can't say I didn't warn you. There is something unnatural about that place.
We must seek to understand the world by rational means, Ms. Walker. One cannot abandon reason.
I wonder if this will be like Lovecraftian, like seeing something so unexplainable that you just go mad.
It could go that way, especially with the look of the eyes.
Thomasina, come here this instant.
What if this is one big flashback and that's why we sometimes see the person's eyes
Wait, this is very
in a panicked
important.
state?
I'll be back soon, Josephine.
Like that sounds like a real girl, not a woman pretending to be a little girl.
I'll be back soon, Josephine.
Gonna giggle at the boobies? Yep.
What is it, Mummy?
It's your father.
Daddy's home?
No, my dear. I must go to Bakewell with haste. Miss Bowes will
Bakewell.
look after you whilst I'm gone. Is that clear?
So young.
Where's Daddy?
He's had an accident.
What happened?
He's come off his horse.
Silly Daddy. Will he be alright?
Of course he will be fine. Your father is as strong as an ox, but I need to go collect him, all right?
Can't I come too?
No, dear. Miss Bowes will look after you.
But I want to come.
Go pick up your dolls, then come inside, all right?
Yes, Mummy. Josephine. Josephine, it's time to go inside now.
Love it.
Where did Mummy go?
Off to Bakewell, lass. Yeah, you're right. Those eyes could be like whatever she's seen, her life is flashing before her eyes kind of thing.
Or it could just be flashback, I realized. Like the old ones.
And I can help him again.
Ooh. Take him back to the big city.
Why is the badger in that hole? Is the guy in a bear costume? And he's just got his back turned.
Oh, it's like the Blair Witch.
Arthur, you won't believe it. The journal belongs to my father. He was here in Bewley. Arthur? Hello?
Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to remember something.
What is it?
I have no eyes when you
I'm
turn.
not sure. Something in the woods. It will come back to me. You say your father were in Bewley?
Yes. Mildred said that he helped Samuel Bryden excavate Hobbs Barrow 25 years ago.
Well, I'll be. Let's talk about it tonight at the plough.
Arthur, I must tell you about the dream I had. I was at Hobbs Barrow and there was a creature. It told me it saved my father from something inside and that I would find proof of this in the morning. Sure enough, when I awoke, the journal was in my room. Mildred confirmed the journal belonged to my father. The creature told me it could help my father again. I mean, it was merely a dream. I don't know what to think anymore. Arthur?
This is sus, right?
Arthur, are you listening? Fine then, we'll talk later.
It's like the kind of
I
thing
hope
if it's a
you piece
horror
together
movie.
your memories.
You'd poke him in the shoulder and his head would roll off his shoulders.
Yeah, or he'd turn around and there'd be something fucked up.
Oh, hello. Oh, another flashback. I think. He's going to draw the cool S.
Hello, dear.
Good day.
What if that one, yeah, if it's looks like he's doing a landscape, you look around and it's just a cool ass.
That's what I'd do.
I believe we've met.
Miss Thomasina Bateman, the famous antiquarian.
My reputation precedes me.
Gravedigger.
I can
Grave
assure
robber.
you it does.
And you are?
James.
Are you a painter?
You see this beck before you? Look at the water. See how it tumbles and falls. I seek one spot on which my eyes can rest, be it a stone or a small corner of the current. I meet it with my gaze, and out of the tumbling and falling, a new land rises. I see a new world.
You certainly have the eloquence of an artist. What are you painting?
A new world.
Quite the ambition.
Indeed, my ambition knows no bounds.
Can I see it?
Not yet. It's not finished. Such a world is not complete without you in it.
You flatter me, James.
Nonsense. Say you'll let me paint you.
Yes,
Like
just
one
like
of
one
the-
of his French girls.
Steve. You.
What's that?
Second.
Steve once again lives up to his name as the Filth Bag Pirate.
There you go. Why not?
Why not?
Magnificent. You shall be the shining star of my new world.
I don't really have the time
I
now,
can
though.
show you
Perhaps
the
later?
world.
Don't fret, my dear. When the time comes, I shall call on thee.
Capital.
Steve, if a painter came up to you and said, "Can I paint you?" would you say yes?
I'd be highly suspicious someone wanted to paint me.
And what if they wanted to paint you like one of the French girls?
Would be like, the thought of that, it's like, well, I don't know what you're seeing, but I'll give it to you.
What do you make of this stone?
It looks antique. You might want to keep a hold of it.
Do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
I'd like to know more about you, Thomasina. What time do you like to rise in the morning? How do you like your tea? What makes you happy?
Would you like to have breakfast together?
Yeah, let's flirt a little.
Oh,
Well, I like to rise early and watch the sunrise.
With your husband,
Oh, look at
I'm
you.
sure.
No,
It's
I'm
smooth
currently
as butter.
unentangled.
Unentangled.
Such a view should be shared with at least a lover.
Do you deem yourself fit for this position?
Indubitably. But do go on. How do you like your tea?
Hot, with just a splash of milk.
No sugar, of course.
No sugar.
you're sweet enough as it is.
Your smile is as
My father-in-law
dazzling as
does
the
that joke
Himalayan
every time
snow.
I ask him how he likes his
Jokes.
coffee.
And finally,
Yeah.
what makes you happy?
Spending time with my father.
I should like to meet him.
Perhaps you will. And you, James? I propose the same queries to you.
All in good time. My truths will surround you in good time.
I hope that's not a euphemism.
Do you know Leonard
The
Shoulder?
truths will be all
man
over your
of
face
beauty.
sometime.
Yes.
I care not for the men of Bewley, only for the visitors.
What do you know of Lord Panswick?
A fine
I thought he
gentleman.
was one and the
Now
same.
that is someone who commands respect.
Do you know him personally?
No,
I didn't even think of
I
that,
don't
but
think anyone can really claim that. But what a tiring subject. Shall we discuss something a little more exciting?
Goodbye.
See you soon, my dear.
Exciting. Well,
I'm not sure they would be interested.
fair enough.
It's locked.
You? Nope. Oh. Hello,
Hello?
girl that's dressed in a Hessian sack.
William Paxton. Modest and gentle of heart.
Bill Paxton, no. Oh, hello.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
Did you see a young
Miss
girl
Shoulder?
with blonde hair pass by here?
No, lass. There you are. Are you
Yep.
Thomasina Bateman?
Ah,
look,
hello.
it looks like someone in like the old person makeup, you know, like in the 90s where they'd have a certain type of makeup they'd use to age someone.
Mm.
And then it's like it's only now that you look back and you know what the actor or actress looks like now. And it's like that was way fucking off.
That's my name.
No word
Oh,
out.
marvellous. It's me, Leonard Shoulder.
You bastard.
Heavens. I'd given up on finding you.
Please take a seat, Miss Bateman. We have much to discuss.
You stood me up.
Yeah, we found the Barrow despite you, thank you very
You've
much.
proven to be quite the enigma, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm mortified. I offer you 1,000 apologies.
Get none.
You see, I've been bound to me bed these past few days with a terrible fever.
How dreadful. I take it you're feeling better now?
Aye, I were on me way to find you when I stopped here to catch me breath. I've not much go in me these days.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I were worried you'd have given up on me and left town.
Almost did, you
I had
old
no
codger.
idea what had become of you, Mr. Shoulder. I spent a good amount of time pounding on your front door.
I'm embarrassed, I really am. I've been doing my best to sleep through the fever. I am so very sorry. Please accept my apology, Miss Bateman.
Fine, Mr. Shoulder. I've come all this way. Let us speak of the business at hand.
Marvellous.
I I've just learned that my father was part of a previous excavation of Hobbs Barrow some 25 years ago. Why didn't you mention this in your letter?
What? Where did you hear that?
I have my means.
I swear, Miss Bateman, I had no idea.
I take it you will also deny delivering me my father's journal?
I'm confused. What journal?
My
The
father's
kissing
journal
journal.
was slipped under my door at the Plough and Furrow. It wasn't you who did this?
I've been bound to me bed, lass. What an extraordinary coincidence. You are following in your father's footsteps.
It would seem so, Mr. Shoulder.
You know, why don't I have a cool S emote? I really should get a cool S emote.
Why did you invite me to excavate Hobbs Barrow?
I've always been curious about the colourful folklore surrounding the place. My father told me all sorts of stories about it when I were a wee fellow. Stories that some folk around here take a little too seriously, especially after those lads entered the Barrow a while back.
How did you know about me?
I saw your interview in the Bakewell Times. A young lady travelling about the land, digging up barrows. Perfect for the job.
But why do you wish to excavate the Barrow?
I want to see what those lads found in there. My curiosity has grown over the years. Now it is time for the mystery to be solved.
I must say I am rather eager to find out what's in there myself.
Maybe, Steve, what's in Hobbs Barrow is the painting of you being drawn as one of the French girls, so whenever people look at it, their soul
like
leaves their
Medusa.
body.
Yeah.
I've managed to
But
find
it's like
Hobbs Barrow, but Mr. Bryden
that's
has
like
yet to give me
the
permission to
bully in
excavate.
it when he sees the deadlights.
So,
Yep.
keep
So they
trying.
just go catatonic and their hair turns white.
Perhaps you could have a word with him.
Oh no. A lovely young lass such as yourself has a better chance of changing his mind than a shaky old goat like me.
You told me in your letter there would be no issue gaining access to the Barrow.
I didn't foresee any when I wrote to you. I'm sorry this has been more complicated than anticipated. Don't give up yet, Miss Bateman. Keep trying with Mr. Bryden.
Why do we even need to ask? We're already robbing graves. We don't
Yeah.
need permission.
Did you know my father?
I don't believe so. What's his name?
William Bateman. He was in Bewley for at least a few days, from my understanding.
I'm sorry, lass. The name doesn't ring a bell.
Are you sure
Oh,
you
Eagle.
had no idea of my father's involvement in the previous excavation?
I'm quite sure. A most fascinating coincidence, but nothing more than that.
I'm starting to wonder if it's more than mere coincidence, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Bateman, I did not take you for a credulous individual.
I'm not of the sort.
I spoke of last time about how I was watching that show with Danny Dyer, the Cheat Show, after watching some of The Wall. Turns out I've watched all of Cheat and there's no more episodes left, which is super sad. If you haven't checked it out, you should check it. Kind of... Oh, Lacey can't stand him. It's so funny. Whenever I put it on, she'll look at him and go, he's just a disgusting man. So funny.
What can you tell me about the previous excavation of Hobbs Barrow?
Oh, it were 25 years ago, or thereabout. Back then, Bewley were undergoing a period of great strife. Samuel Bryden hadn't harvested a single crop for 2 seasons. Even Hernwood was sick. Berries went to rot almost as quickly as they grew. Folks started to believe the ground were blighted. Disease spread through the livestock too. People were going hungry, a panic set in.
That sounds terrible.
Aye, but I managed to keep myself fed. These things happen in nature, but the blame for it all fell on Hobbs Barrow. It were long said that a goblin made his home there. A rumour took root that the goblin were not best pleased with the villagers.
Goblin D's.
In revenge for some unperceived slight, the goblin placed a curse on the soil itself. The villagers believed that ridding the Barrow of its lodger would put an end to it all.
Hogwash. My father would have paid no heed to such tales.
Whether it were his
Yeah, and look what happened to him.
The excavation when coming here, I do not know. But whatever it were that Samuel Bryden and those lads did inside that barrow, people say it did the trick. The crop started to grow back. and health returned to the livestock. Bewley were no longer in the grip of dark forces. You must understand, folk here are a superstitious lot. They don't want you disturbing whatever it were those lads did. As far as the villages are concerned, the problem were fixed. The thought of another excavation must be conjuring panic that you'll undo whatever it were they did.
This does explain a lot.
And it's also why I'd venture nobody around here wants you to touch the place.
That makes sense.
Except for you.
I want to know what's there.
Surely you don't believe these tales
Surely.
of goblins and curses to be true?
Not at all. However, I suspect those...
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Have any connection to failing crops and dying livestock? No. I can assure you there's nothing to fear. Coincidence reigns supreme.
So what do you think they found?
That is for us to discover, Miss Bateman.
Oh, yeah.
Who was the third man who joined my father and Mr. Bryden on the excavation?
I'm afraid I don't know. Although I'd heard about the excavation and I were intrigued by it, I mostly stayed at home during that time. The atmosphere in the village was rather too tense for me liking. And besides, the excavation were undertaken with an air of mystery about it.
Love the ramen chitter.
Tell me more of this folklore you mention.
It is said that Hobbs Barrow is home to a goblin. Everyone in Bewley has some version or another of this story. But the version my father told me as a child described the Barrow as a thin place. The goblin were deemed to be the guardian of this so-called thin place.
It's like Stephen King's, like thinnies, I think he called them, in like the Dark Tower series, which was like between worlds. There was like a thinning of reality.
Tell me more about this goblin.
Some said he were a mischievous little mite, snatching newborn lambs and smashing windows with pebbles. Others said he were friendly, there to lend a helping hand in times of strife. The latter of which makes it all the more surprising as to why the previous excavation took place. My father's stories put the goblin in the mischievous category. Saxnot, he called the creature. I recall one such anecdote, that Saxnot entered Bewley and ordered a pair of boots to be made by the cobbler. However, when collecting them, he insisted on paying for them with a bag of sow's teeth. The cobbler was so scared of angering the goblin that he accepted.
A colourful tale indeed, Mr. Shoulder. Has any explanation been offered for why this Saxnot cursed the soil?
Your guess is as good as mine, lass.
What is a thin place?
A place where one can walk between worlds. Where the flesh meets the spirit world. Just superstition, of course, as you will know.
I had a peculiar dream last night. I met a creature at Hobbs Barrow. I suppose you might say it was a goblin. It told me it had saved my father from trouble inside Hobbs Barrow. I'll admit the coincidence of this is somewhat astounding.
A remarkable coincidence, but nothing more than that.
But there is still one thing that puzzles me. The goblin told me proof of its claims would await me in the morning. Surely enough, I awoke to find that my father's journal had appeared in my room.
Very queer indeed.
Mr. Shoulder, you invited me here, to a town I'd never heard of, only for me to discover that my own father was here 25 years before. And not only that, but that he was also embroiled in some sort of superstitious hysteria which goes against everything he ever taught me. Something is wrong here. This must be more than mere coincidence.
It's strange, I'll give you that. But please remember who you are, Miss Bateman.
Are you guys superstitious? What about you, Steve? You?
Not too much. Yeah, probably not at all. There's probably the closest thing I've come to is like when I was getting Macca's every time we'd stream, just because I did the first time. But that isn't like a serious something bad will happen superstition. It's just fell into that habit.
Yeah. Like, what
When
about knocking on
I've
wood?
stopped.
Things like that.
Not knock on wood. There is this weird thing. Probably actually the closest. So I don't have Macca's anymore because I've moved into my own place and I can prepare something. It's just hard when there's someone else there to like sort of want something quick. But
yep.
So I don't do that anymore. That's probably the closest where since I was a kid, came up with this idea that bad things happen. Like bad things sometimes happen if you don't expect it, or if you don't take something, or you take something for granted. So if you're either thankful or you recognize something could go wrong, it won't happen.
Okay.
Or you won't lose something if you're like, if you go, thank God I've made it as far as I can. I have in life without getting a serious injury. That sort of stopped you from getting it. Whereas if you, almost like a causality thing, if in the future you never had that, then you would have gotten injured. Like life would somehow take that away from you. So I've had that since I was a kid. And so sometimes I'll stop, realize I've gotten pretty lucky. Sometimes I've thought to myself, I've gotten pretty lucky, either a specific event or just in general to get this far without getting an injury. And I'll sort of be thankful for that. And that'll be the reason I got that far without it.
Do you have like a little notebook of things that you check in on to say, thank goodness I haven't been injured, in 3 months' time, just to keep that in check?
It's not systematic, because if it's systematic, then there wouldn't be any real thing behind it. And it's not like it doesn't physically manifest. It's just sometimes I'll think that. Either that or, things are never expected, at least to me. Like if there's a big event coming up and you think it could go either two ways, and you picture it one way and they go, oh no, it's going to happen the other way, and you picture it the other way, like passing or failing a test. If you think about it too much, a third thing that you want, even if it seems binary, a third thing will come up if you picture both outcomes too much, because life won't go. I know, I guess it's a life never goes according to plan sort of thing.
Could it be a similar thing, like, for an example, like if you're watching a sports game, if you think about winning or losing too much, the draw will happen? That kind of thing? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, kind of. But that's if the game's important, if it's just an arbitrary game, but like just because you go through that mental thing. But if it's like something really important and you've been thinking about it for days, then likely it'll get cancelled, or like you said, a draw, or to me, likely it'll be cancelled or postponed.
Yeah. I guess mine would be that sometimes I don't tell people things in a superstitious way that if I tell people it's not going to happen. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah. But there's depends what that is, because there's the psychological thing behind motivation where telling something just makes, I sort of noticed this, and then I'd heard it being an actual psychological concept of when you tell something, tell someone you're doing something, then motivation evaporates as opposed to keeping it to yourself.
Oh, okay.
Like exercising, like that kind of stuff, where if you try to maintain an exercise habit, you tell everyone, oh, I'm going to do this, then the motivation will evaporate as opposed to just doing it until people notice. And the psychological thing is that then I've heard since then, I sort of noticed that, it's like because when you tell people you've gotten the reward, like the psychological reward for doing it, so then you don't need to do it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Like, I think the way my mind works is it covers everything. Like, not just, like you say, fitness and things like that, where it'll demotivate you from getting fit if you're telling people things like that. But, I don't know, just most decisions, like the crossroads in life, I will always think, I should not tell anybody this because the good stuff will never happen. So I just try to keep it under wraps.
Yeah, then that's sort of, more superstitious.
Yeah.
This is my father's journal.
Incredible. Can I look inside?
You may.
It's a kissing journal, mind you.
Look at these drawings. Wonder what it all means.
You and I both. It all feels very out of character for my father.
I'm sure you'll find the answers beneath the soil, Miss Bateman.
What do you make of this strange stone?
The carving of a cockerel?
Yes, it was strapped to my father's journal. Do you think it could have
That's
something
my
to do with the
cockstone.
previous excavation?
Possibly, though I'm not aware of the motif having any meaning around these parts.
Is this your glove?
I've been looking all over for that. Where did you find it?
In the alley behind the plough and furrow on the night of my arrival. Were you there?
As I say, I've been bedbound for several days, Miss Bateman.
How odd.
Can I please have it back?
Here.
Thank you. We're peas of the same pod, Miss Bateman. I knew you wouldn't be frightened by a few old stories. It will be interesting to see what those lads found in there.
Certainly.
Thank you so very much for responding to my letter and for coming here. We have some great discoveries to make, you and I.
I sincerely hope so.
And a chance to follow in your father's footsteps. Right, time for me to shift these old bones. I'm to take me a spot of the plough and furrow. I'll be there all night should you need me assistance.
Nice, we're
Thank
gonna
you,
get drunk
Mr.
again.
Shoulder.
I'm sorry again for giving you the runaround. I promise I am not beyond redemption. I won't let you down again. See you soon.
I was starting to wonder if Mr. Shoulder even existed.
Mystery Man revealed, achievement unlocked. Now, what are we missing? Where are we meant to go now? Still need to get that knife
The
out.
day was starting to test me. The word coincidence felt insufficient to explain what was happening. It was after that first conversation with Leonard's Shoulder that I started entertaining thoughts of a truly irrational nature. What if my dream wasn't just a dream? What if it was all more than simple coincidence? What if that thing really could help my father?
Oh, hello. That's right. The sack girl.
Good day, little one. Hello? What's this? A fiddle bow? There's no string.
You're gonna play The Devil Goes Down to Georgia?
My name is Thomasina. What's yours? Don't be shy. I don't mean you any harm. What are you doing out here all alone on the moors? Do you live here? Would you like me to fix your bow so you can play your fiddle again? Yes? Hey!
Ooh.
Most peculiar. Perhaps I can mend the bow for her. If memories of my childhood violin lessons serve me right, bowstring is made from animal hair coated in a waxy resin.
She can't make her own bowstrings.
I think we got to go to Shoulder's house, and then... Oh no, where were the goats? They weren't at Shoulder's house at all, were they? There's chickens.
I thought 3 chickens. Was there a goat as well?
I'm sure we've seen some goats. Because then when we saw the goats and they did
Yeah,
their
we joked
prayer,
about the sound
someone
effect.
did the goat command as well.
Yeah, and we joked about the sound effect being correct.
Where was that? Let's have a look. Blacksmith's closed, unfortunately.
No, somewhere remote, somewhere out of town.
Oh, Bryden's farm. That's where it was. Oh.
Getting a flashback suggests we triggered something, so that's promising.
Yeah.
Mummy?
What the hell? On a perfect
Wait for
lawn?
the fire, Thomasina.
What are you burning?
Nothing. Just waste. Now go inside.
Dear diary.
Abrax. Mummy, what is this?
Waste. Burn it.
Here we go. Go see there. I didn't even talk to him. We've got a meeting with your goats.
I should leave the goat alone. Goat hair is much too coarse to be used for bowstring.
Okay, good to know. What other animals there?
Good day, Mr. Bryden.
He hasn't got enough hair.
I'll stop you there.
Pubic
I
hair,
know
Steve.
what you're going to ask. No, I haven't
He's-
changed my mind. There'll be
His
no
pubes are long
digging
enough
here, lass.
for the bow.
Mr. Bryden, allow me to explain. There has been an astonishing development
And straight
this
for some
morning.
reason.
Yes?
My father was with your brother during the excavation.
Oh,
Yes, can you believe it? I had no idea he had been here.
the answer's still no, lass. I saw what happened to poor Samuel. I won't risk the same happening to anyone else.
But
That's enough now. You can feast your eyes on that hovel to your heart's content, but there'll be no digging.
Okay, so no digging. What if we got something that scraped away rather than dug away?
No questions. I'm not interested.
but
I have a feeling we could be able to get in without, once we know how. We could probably get in without digging.
there.
Because theoretically they've already done all the digging on the first excavation.
They are.
So maybe the third guy?
Yeah, that's possible. What if we use the stone?
I can't see how that will help me. I must gain Mr. Bryden's permission to excavate. I must gain Mr.
What if it's like, we can find a way to bring your brother back? Maybe we'll go to the main. Well, his soul could still be in there, I guess. I don't know.
Good day.
I'm still setting up my stall. Come back later.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Check our to-do list. What do we got? Convince, yep. Fix the... the dude's here now.
Good day.
Hey up.
Look at this, Mr. Crozier. It's my father's journal.
Oh, aye? Why are you showing me?
Did you slip it under my door last night?
Ha! Have you gone daft? Why would I have your father's journal?
Never mind. Did the sketches inside mean anything to you?
Looks like a load of rubbish to me.
I found out my father visited Bewley 25 years ago. William Bateman, perhaps you remember him?
I would have been just a lad. What were you here for?
That's what I intend to find out. What do you make of this stone?
Don't look like out to me.
Out.
Are you familiar with any local folklore?
Oh, aye. The old cobbler used to tell me some right stories. Swore he sold a pair of boots to a goblin when he were a young man.
A goblin?
That's right, there is
you
the
say?
cobbler. We could check
I
it
take
out.
this cobbler was a regular at the Plough and Furrow?
Never drank a day in his life. Sober as a judge. Have you been to the Devil's Toe?
Yes, I'm familiar with the cairn.
Some say they've seen the goblin's daughter there, playing her fiddle.
Oh.
How peculiar. I met a girl near there earlier. She gave me this broken fiddle bow.
Ha! Well, you've experienced the local folklore firsthand then, lass.
Interesting.
So she was the cobbler's... Who was she?
Sorry, Steve, repeat that. I had to charge my headset.
So she was the cobbler's. Who was she again?
She's the goblin's daughter.
Oh, Goblin's daughter.
Do you know any other stories about this goblin?
I don't have the time to be standing here gossiping about old wives' tales.
Apologies.
So the little girl obviously gets her looks from whoever the mother is.
Probably Pisscat is the mother.
I'm having some trouble extricating a knife from a table in the plough and furrow. Might I borrow a pair of pliers?
A knife, you say? I can get that out for you.
That's very kind of you, Mr. Crozier.
Think nothing of it. Wait here.
Oh, now we can steal shit. Maybe. Oh no.
That were a struggle. Here you are.
Thank you so much. Does the name Saxnot mean anything to you?
Never heard of it. What is it?
Never mind. Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
There she is.
The blacksmith is right here. I've no need to go inside. I feel I was slightly shortchanged in this trade, but I shall leave the fossil to its new owner.
No, because we don't want the blame of ruining their...
Yeah, don't take the evidence back.
One of these was a cobbler.
A local dwelling. A local cobbler. No one here.
When Australian Kingdom come, did you see the bit with the bag of silver? Reminds me of that.
I don't remember.
Okay, so the lady I was playing, her family, because the brother works in the mine. Oh no, I think one of the brothers worked in the mine and the other one snuck in, stole a bag of silver. But then on the way out, he thought he was going to get checked, so he dropped it down one of the shafts, so it ended up in the flooded section of the mine. So authorities are looking after it, they know it. They're looking for it. So at one stage you see your dad being interrogated by guards, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know anything about silver." So finally, when the guards are gone, you find out from the brother that he stole it, and you tell father, and they're like, "Oh, you have to save us. You have to go into the silver mine and steal it back to grab the bag." And it made no sense because it's like, wait, as long as it's in the flooded section, it's incriminating evidence. So us fetching it makes it worse. But then also, it's like, why do I have to, like, you're getting the lady, the daughter, to do this in order to cover up for the shitty brothers. So it made no sense why she's the patsy, but also, yeah, it's like, this is incriminating evidence. It's better to be left in the mines.
I like that game a lot, especially watching you stream it. It was really good fun. I will be back in 1 second. I just have to go check something.
So just Sprig.
Where'd it go?
I watched Wayne's World recently.
It's all the way.
That was kind of interesting because it's like still pretty good. A few bits are dated in terms of it's like, oh shit, that's kind of been done so many times since, or no, but it's been ages since I saw it. The most fondest memory I have is I've seen it when it came out, but then when I was applying for uni, the line to go through the administration was like 1 or 2 hours, and I realized the way you'd make people not too angry is you have a TV just playing Wayne's World. I remember seeing, again, I'd seen it beforehand, but just rewatching it while waiting in line for this uni admin shit actually made it worthwhile. I think it helped everyone, like, everyone was probably less angry and irritated because you've got something to watch that's kind of funny. Yeah, so I watched that recently.
Seems so.
Yeah, I also had forgotten how hot and awesome Tia Carrera is. I've been watching Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy because I saw that in the cinema and wasn't impressed, but I've been told it's good. And the things I've thought about it, which is nothing relates to each other, I've been sort of got told that wasn't true, and we gave it a rough go. So I've been watching that again, and that's I'm just seeing moments that I might have forgot about, but it's like, oh, that's kind of neat. But then a lot of it, I think, is unfocused.
That's right. We have Rams in the house. All right. Hey, Puss. Smooching the microphone.
On Wayne's World. Oh, yeah.
A roller coaster based on... Which one was that?
Wayne's World, I guess, because it's the hurler.
That's crazy because, Steve, remember when we used to go to those like Christmas sessions in the estate that I used to live in, and they would always have that Bad Boys 2 ride?
Oh, yeah.
And it was like the worst airbrushing of Will Smith and Martin Lawrence you've ever seen. It was funny.
I was there year after year. We never went on, but there's no interest to go on it from the looks of it.
But I loved seeing
it was
it there.
fascinating, the branding of everything, not just Bad Boys, but Bad Boys 2 was the signage.
So funny. Rams keeps muting by smooching the button. Lisa's in the house. How you doing, Lisa? Lisa just came back from getting her COVID shot.
Okay.
Because we're going to the US next month. We want to make sure that we're sort of immune as possible, if you will.
Yeah.
So once Lisa's all healed, I'll go get mine. I don't feel like the last time, because I had 2 AstraZenecas. That was the original one that I had. And then I had a Moderna. And Moderna slapped me around and called me Susan. It was nasty. Actually, which did you get? Come on, Steve, sorry.
It's because the change up of the type that's teaching your immune system more things. What's like, yeah, surprising it.
Pfizer. Maybe I should get Pfizer. I've never had one Moderna. Rams. You guys saw that, right? That Rams jumped up with a little paws and grabbed the sanding sponge. The latest version. So you got the latest firmware of COVID shots. That's cool. That's great. She so Lisa went to an animal show on the weekend, which I want to go to next time. It was just a whole bunch of heaps of different types of animals. And Lisa's friend Rachel bought a bunch of cat toys. She doesn't have a cat, mind you. She just bought the toys for some reason. And she gave Lisa a bunch. And there's these like they look like straws, right? That you drink a drink out of, but they're kind of woven almost like you know when you buy a big sack of oranges, it's got that sort of orangey mesh that holds the oranges. They're kind of like that, but you can get your fingers stuck in them and it traps your finger real tight. But you can also like you pull them down and let them go and they fly across the room and Rams will go and chase and she'll tap it with her. How many things scoop? Okay. They fell off. Yeah, it's like a finger trap. Yeah, exactly. For sure. And it's funny because we all did it independently of each other. We were playing with it and got our finger caught inside. All right. Let's see. So, do you think that this is... Let's have a look at our to-do list now. Guess we can ask all these. And her sister's the one that works on the TV show Bluey. She's an animator or something like that. And the voice of one of the dog's mums. Like one of friend's dog. Fix the fiddle bow. I don't know what we can give the guy back his knife. Maybe that'll do something.
You found old Leonard, I see.
Yes, finally. I've had some rather unbelievable news, Stanley.
Oh? Remarkable.
Quite the coincidence, is it not?
Remarkable. Just remarkable.
Do you recall my father from back then?
I'm afraid not. Those were my droving days, you see. I didn't spend much time in Bewley, but an interesting turn of events nonetheless.
Is droving cattle pushing or something like that? Oh, it's a little Bobby.
Yeah, because I was thinking filthy things at first. I thought it was weird, but yeah, probably is something like that. I thought it was not too filthy, but I thought it was like, yeah, those were the days I was rolling my oats.
What do you know of Mother Mildred?
I'll tell you what I know about Mother Mildred. She wants locking up.
Oh.
How so?
She owes me a small fortune on her tab from years ago. Do remind her next time you see her, won't you?
I'd rather not get involved, if you don't mind.
Be careful who you trust, Miss Bateman.
What if we're Mother Mildred, but in the past? Or in the future? Or...
Does the name Saxnot mean anything to you?
No, I can't say it does.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Yeah. Break her fingers until she gives us money to pay the bar tab.
It's probably why she looks like a witch. All her fingers have been broken.
Hello there.
Yes.
Yeah, Rocky Balboa's come over to visit her a few times.
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
For anyone who didn't get that, he was a line shark
Pleased to meet
enforcer in the first movie before he was sort of a boxer, but before he actually hit the big time.
And that was the ramen moment.
Except he was a nice line shark enforcer where the person who'd go to break their fingers would be like appealing to his humanity, and he'd be like, oh yeah, he'd always fall for it, and then he'd go back to line shark, and line shark would be going, I told you to break his fingers. They don't accept any sub story they tell you. But even then he was a nice guy.
Idwood Fine's in the house. How you doing?
Are you a local, Mr. Cross?
Oh no, I'm just passing through. I'm a musician. Just myself, me guitar and me horse.
We can steal we can cut the horse's tail off and then use that as the bow.
I thought you were like, oh, he's a musician, he'll be able to fix it. And you're like, you've got to steal the horse's tail, cut it off.
What's it about?
You'll have to come listen.
Got the knife.
What do you make of Bewley?
Can't say that I know much about this place. I don't usually travel this far south.
I see.
I don't know if you're still in here, Lise, but your English. Is Bewley a real city, or is it made up?
Have you heard of a place called
Is it in Yorkshire?
Can't say I have, miss. What is it?
He said
never mind.
Far south,
Thank you for your time.
Make sure you watch my performance later, won't you?
Could be.
I'll try.
Like Yorkshire is as north as you can go.
The person who has this accent perfectly, I looked her up and she's from Yorkshire, so I assume it's from there.
There's nothing else I wish to discuss at the moment. I don't wish to give that away.
Give that away? Wasn't it his in the first place?
No, it's not. It'll be someone else, because I forget who, because I think it was a minor character.
He wasn't
a
playing
musician,
Knifey.
right?
I thought it was him playing Knifey Spoony last time.
He was in that position, but it wasn't. I don't think it was him. Because a musician wouldn't be playing the knife game with his hand.
Miss Batman.
He could be a harmonicist.
Yeah. He plays the triangle, unless he can afford to lose a finger or two.
Or the cowbell.
Is that so? Perhaps you could show
Or the
him
jug.
something that might change his mind.
Okay, good. We can show him something. That's good. That's a good clue. Thanks, Shoulder.
I've still not been able to gain permission to excavate from Mr. Bryden.
Is that so? Perhaps you could show him something that might change his mind.
Yeah, the knife, for sure.
What else can you tell me about this?
I'll cut you.
Saxnort?
Try not to worry yourself too much with these old stories. Leave those to the locals, Miss Bateman.
Have others spoken of goblins appearing in their dreams?
A dream is a dream, that is all. They merely make for good stories.
I know.
But to answer your question, no, not to my knowledge.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm sure the locals have filled you in already, lass.
You cut quite the mysterious figure. Most had little to say.
It's true, I do tend to keep my head down. When one gets to my age, one grows very comfortable in one's home. I like the isolation of the moors. I wouldn't change it for anything.
I take it you don't get many visitors.
Oh no, nobody bothers me. That's the perk of living so far out, huh? Just me and me hens. I used to come into Bewley more often, back before my health went to bugger, eh?
What do you think of Bewley?
Whilst one could consider the villages to be rather unenlightened, this place has its charm. The market's in town today. You can see that folk want fun out here.
What else can you tell me about the previous excavation?
I think I covered it earlier, Miss Bateman. As you yourself said, it were a time of superstitious hysteria.
Raman's now rolling on her side all over the floor doing bow and arrow puss.
What was it like, living in that period of hysteria?
I kept to myself. It didn't really affect me. My hens stayed healthy and their eggs kept me well fed. If one can keep a level head in such situations, one can get by.
Indeed. Is there anything else I should be aware of before my own excavation? No other ghouls I should be worried about?
You know the answer to that. The corruption in that soil were all in the minds of men.
What do you make of Lord Panswick?
Steve once again lives up to his name as the filth-bag pirate.
As I'm sure you have gathered, his family has commanded much respect here for many generations.
Do you respect him as a leader?
I do. He wants the best for the village. Without his influence, the railway line would have never come through here.
Does he want more visitors?
Aye, I believe so. He has great ambitions.
I reckon
for
James
Bewley
is
and
Lord Panswick.
wants to share them with the world.
I mean, that was my original assumption.
What do you make of Mildred Walker?
Who?
I believe she's also known as Mother Mildred.
Oh, we used to get about when we were children. Our paths have not crossed.
Oh, it doesn't recognize her name, it recognizes her nickname. Oh, the witch.
What do you think of Charles Bryden?
He is a decent man. It must have been hard for him after that terrible business with his brother.
Without a doubt. I must say I had assumed you had at least spoken to him about my visit.
Sorry, lass. I had no intention of giving you the runaround. Again, I can only apologize.
Suspicious.
If you don't mind me asking, what is the nature of your ongoing illness?
Oh, just the ravages of age. Getting off this bench will be a small battle in itself. Something you won't need to worry about for many a year, Miss Bateman.
Growing old is a blessing and a curse. And what of your recent fever?
An ordeal it were. So much tossing and turning. But I'm right as rain now, especially after a mug of ale. Don't worry about me.
Are you guys starting to feel your age? Do you feel aches and pains constantly? Like, I don't think I'm at that stage yet. Like, when you put your back out or something like that, that's a different story. But, like, there's no everyday pain. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, probably more. Well, when she said the line before, I was going to say it hasn't been feeling like a blessing recently. But actually not bad. Had some health problems, but generally okay. And I'm in a position where I can exercise a bit better.
Panswick's plans for Bewley?
He's rebuilding an old chapel on his estate. He seeks to bring God back to these lands.
But what of St. Edmunds? I think Father Roach might argue God has never left.
Indeed. Let's leave such arguments to them, shall we?
Yeah, I know that feeling, Ardwood, for sure.
Is there anything else I should know about Hobbs Barrow, Mr. Shoulder?
No, lass. I'm certain we will know a lot more about it by this time tomorrow.
I hope so.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Aye, Miss Bateman.
Time to go
We will
steal a
speak more
horsetail.
later.
I guess we could try and show him the boat.
Do you know how to mend this, Mr. Cross?
Aye, it needs a string. Just make sure it's coated in resin. Once you've got that, the rest is easy. Just tie the string on tight. You'll be able to do it yourself.
Capital. Thank you, Mr. Cross.
Maybe I don't know musical instruments that well, but I just can't picture manually creating bowstrings. Like, there's got to be some sort of craft behind it that you can't just do on your own.
I think it's legit.
I guess it's just for a little girl, so it doesn't matter.
I think it's just heaps of hair, right? And then
Yeah.
it's sort of bound in like a clip on either side, so it's so taut that it's all in one unit. What I imagine. Is that poo? It is poo.
Fresh and steamy. Delightful. I believe a horse to be the culprit.
A bad case of the pooies coming right up.
Horsehair. will
That's
make
where
fine
the
bows.
tie-up was for. Thanks, Jesus!
Gonna kick her.
She almost died.
Almost took my head off.
There's Piss Cat up there too.
It's a nice cat.
Just do it straight on the horse.
I can't see how that will help me.
Alright, time to cut
I
off
think
the tail.
I've seen episodes of Simpsons. As much as they went downhill, there was one I saw that was pretty good. Like of the newer Simpsons. I just caught one here.
Cut some hair from her tail.
It's where Lisa goes to like a horse club. It's like the Babysitters Club type horse club.
I don't wish
And
to lose an eye. I'll have to
whatever
go.
happens, she has to get away, and Bart comes to help her get away. Have you seen it?
No. I
Oh,
haven't watched it.
there's a bit where Lisa gets up on the horse and Bart's like, and she goes, "Oh, don't worry, you'll be able to come up with me. She's a majestic, gentle animal, and she'll take us away." And he starts walking around, and she goes, "Don't get behind her. She'll kick your fucking head off." That one got me a little bit. I like that one.
Fresh and steamy. I believe a horse. I certainly don't wish to touch it.
Maybe we can get a carrot. Or some of this, maybe. Well, what if we go to old mate's house and try and talk him into it? Where is it? There it is. Oh, do we? No, we gave the shoulders glove back. Okay. What if I give you the knife?
I don't wish to give that away.
No. Wasn't to give. Stick it between his ribs.
I don't wish to give that away. What do you make of this stone, Mr. Bryden? It was strapped to my father's journal.
Wait a minute. Let me see that.
Ooh,
By God.
that's my brother's
Wait here
stone.
a moment. I need to get something from inside.
I waited
That'd be
for
funny
what
if you
felt
just-
like an age,
That'd be funny if you just stole it.
and I realised that Mr. Bryden must have been in a great debate with himself, wondering whether or not to share his own piece of the mystery with me. The goat stared at me, seemingly in pity, as I stood there in that rolling
Hey,
fog.
Rams again.
What a goat looks like when it stares at you in pity.
Finally, Mr. Bryden emerged.
Now then, a As far as I know, what I have here is the only thing that Samuel brought back from Barrow. Take a look.
Oh, that's good because we need
Incredible.
that stone.
Pear.
That's been in my drawer ever since Samuel passed. I suppose it might be important, so I kept it safe. Fate is clearly playing a part in your arrival, lass.
Please, Mr. Bryden, allow me to excavate Hobbs Barrow, a place that is no more than dirt and stone.
Do it.
You're not gonna give up, are you, lass?
I'm not.
Samuel managed to say one thing about those men that helped him. I think it's time I tell you.
Yes?
He stuttered out that one of those fellows could barely walk after they got out of there. Tongue-tied too, the man were.
My father.
You what?
My father. He had an accident around 25 years ago that left him bedbound and unable to talk.
Aye, could be him.
My mother told me it happened in a horse riding accident.
Samuel boarded up that barrow for a reason. Something unnatural occurred, I know it.
Mr. Bryden, we must rely on our rational faculties to explain any...
Promise me you'll be careful. Any sign of trouble, leave without hesitation and we board that accursed place up again. Understood?
Wait, you're giving me permission to excavate?
Aye. Against me better judgment. I don't have the energy to stop you, lass.
Oh, we should have just punched him out then.
I am grateful.
Don't make me regret my decision. Take Samuel's stone.
Are you sure?
Aye. Give it back to me when you're finished, though.
Got a pair of stones now.
Thank you. I'll be sure to show you my discoveries, Mr. Bryden.
I'd rather you don't. Now then, I've got things to get on with.
I don't suppose you can spare any labour to help me with the dig?
Don't push your luck, lass. Market's on today. Plenty of able-bodied men about. Ta-ra now.
Oh, tell me about it.
And like that, I finally had permission to excavate Hobbs Barrow.
I'm gonna let Rams out one second.
Yeah, tell me prices, man. Tell me prices. How much per hour?
As exciting as that was, I was distracted by what Mr. Bryden said of his brother's associate. There was no doubt in my mind that father was the stricken man he spoke of. You told me he was crippled after coming off his horse.
Mum's a liar.
Why did you lie to me? To protect me? To stop me from following in his footsteps? You failed. And so did Charles Bryden. He should have said no. He should have never given me that stone.
Okay. So that has IAW. CAZ. Oh, sorry. For you Americans. CAZ. When you write the letter Z, Steve, do you do a cross through it like this?
No, but I know why it's there, but I never
it.
bothered to do it.
I do it with my sevens too.
A 7, I think, is more important to do it because it's. But no, I don't do it. I actually don't do it in the moment.
The biggest question: do you double space after a full stop?
Used to religiously for some reason, but not anymore.
It's because everyone was taught.
In good time.
Yeah. And also everyone's taught they're equal, and then I've learned since that you're not supposed to do it. So it's a relic from typewriting.
How are we going to...
This is not mine to take.
You taught when you print out an address to put 3 spaces between the suburb, state, and postcode?
No.
I was taught that you have to do that, otherwise it won't be... You risk not being registered anymore, and since then I've learned I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I do... comma, so the number, street address, comma, suburb, space, state, space, postcode, I think. I think that's the way I... Ooh.
It's still a horsehair we need, doesn't it?
Yeah. We've got to... Maybe the market is good now, and then we can buy a...
A man.
Wow,
We'll
carrot.
buy 2 man. We only need one of them for digging, though.
Here she is.
The box is full of various sprouts and onions. Nothing particularly tempting.
I don't say that in front of her.
Not tempting. The produce is not mine to take. Good day.
Fresh produce.
What have you got for sale?
I'm selling meat, vegetables, and all sorts of herbs and things. You're welcome to have a gander.
I'll be sure to browse. Goodbye.
Ta-ra, miss.
Tins of corned beef. Ghastly.
I like corned beef. I think corned beef tastes delicious.
A tin of it, though?
Like spam, but beef instead of pork.
With that spice, yeah.
Some not.
Yeah, let's talk to this.
Good day.
Freshly picked apples, miss.
Oh, horses like apples.
Would you like to try one on the outside?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, please.
Here you are, miss.
The apple looks somewhat rotten. It's riddled with holes.
Our gran used to make the best corned beef roast. It was so good. Mustard. Baby carrots.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
What was disgusting? You didn't like the roast?
No, the apple.
Oh.
It looks disgusting.
Hey, girl. Would you like an apple? She is completely indifferent. Perhaps the apple is too spoiled for her liking.
Really? Maybe we can throw the apple at Piss Cat.
I don't wish to wake him up.
Damn, that felt like a perfect solution.
Good day.
How did you like your apple?
I'm afraid it is rather rotten, sir.
Hey up. That's slander, that is. Don't you be going around telling folk I'm handing out rotten apples.
Give me a freshie and I won't.
I don't wish to give that away. The produce is not mine to take. Good day.
Freshly picked apples, miss.
Maybe we can give it to the
Selling
goat.
them at a steal. Would miss like to buy some?
No, thank you.
Because goats will eat anything, right? Oh,
Yeah.
pie seller. Pies are so much better than cake.
Can I interest you in a pie? Finest mutton in all the county. 2p each.
No, thank you.
You're missing out.
Hello, Miss Tompkins.
Hello.
We weren't introduced earlier. My name is Thomasina.
Mom?
Thomasina is such a weird... It sounds like a made-up name. Like, let's just get a dude's name and add Ina at the end of it. Like, Stevenina. Reckon Stevenina? There's someone called Stevenina?
Max is already a feminine version of my name.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
How do you fare, Miss Tompkins?
I'm waiting for Mr. Ambrose. Have you seen him?
Who's that?
The milkman. Ms. Fenchurch will be ever so cross if I've no milk for his lordship.
I'm afraid I haven't seen him. You are in the employ of Lord Panswick?
Aye. He employs Arthur Bewley in one way or another.
Jeff and Ina. That's right. Every second American is named Jeff.
I'm in need of some help for my excavation. Do you think his lordship could lend me some of his labourers?
Maybe.
Might you introduce me to him?
Sorry, Ma'am, but his lordship doesn't take visitors. Any road, I must wait here for Mr. Ambrose. Ms. Fenchurch will be ever so cross if I've no milk for his lordship.
If Mr. Ambrose doesn't turn up and I find you some milk, would you be able to introduce me to Lord Panswick?
His lordship really doesn't like visitors, Mom.
I'll take the risk.
Miss Fenchurch will be cross with me.
How do we...
She'll be even crosser if I come back without fresh milk.
So, do we have a deal?
Aye. Bring me some milk and I'll take you to his lordship.
Thank you.
But hopefully Mr. Ambrose will arrive soon.
So we can get the milk from the goat. We just have to give it the rotten apple. But then we've got the bucket that has holes in it. So maybe we need to go back into our bedroom to see if we can get the candle first to seal the holes.
Have you been waiting long for Mr. Ambrose?
Aye. He should have been here a good 2 hours ago. He's here every market day, you see. He sells only the freshest milk. Miss Fenchurch swears by it. I hope misfortune hasn't befallen him on his way here.
I'm sure he will turn up.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, we do. Hit him with a pooinade.
Are you familiar with Hobbs Barrow?
What's that?
Never mind. What do you make of these stones?
Oh, gives me the creeps.
Why?
Dunno. Just a feeling.
Who is Miss Fenchurch?
His lordship's housekeeper.
I'll let you know if I find some fresh milk.
Thank you, ma'am. But tell me if you see Mr. Ambrose, won't you?
I will. Good day.
Hey up.
Hey up.
What do you make of these stones?
Don't look like out to me.
Do you have any fresh milk going spare?
I'm a blacksmith, not a cattle farmer.
Quite. Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
Do you like goat's cheese, Steve?
Yeah, like as in feta.
That's sheep's cheese. Goat's cheese is its own thing.
I don't know if I had it for Greek class. I don't remember it that well. I remember liking it, but can't think of what it tastes like.
It's real smooth and tangy, like real smooth. Delicious on a salad, yeah. On a biscuit, like in a cheese platter, a bit of goat's cheese goes a long way. Good with fruit as well.
I don't think anyone is home.
What about blue cheese? That's usually a topic of contention.
Nobody home.
Depends. There's like... I just sort of liked it since I was little. There's a couple I've gone to that have a certain type of bacteria because it has a certain taste to it that I hate from a couple of them, but otherwise I like them.
It could be, I mean, I don't know if it's your situation, but Gorgonzola, which is a kind of blue cheese, is super, super strong and like will basically take the air out of your sails. But something like a Tasmanian Heritage Blue it's just exactly like brie, but it has that blue wang to it. It's really good. Really, really tasty.
I think it's found fascinating. There's a Swiss club in our city, or a place called the Swiss Club, but since COVID, they've gone to private, where you have to be a member of the club to be in the restaurant. Because otherwise they had a restaurant as part of the club used to go to. And it was nice because they did proper fondue, cheese fondue.
Oh yeah, which I think is what, melted cheese and white wine mixed, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing. I only knew it as melted cheese, but we've gone there a few times, and the person went with asked the chef like questions, and it was super interesting because he talked about.
Perhaps you've had enough sugar. Don't you
start
to know.
There was a mixture of cheeses in it, and we asked him about it, and he goes, "Yeah, the theory behind it is you pick one cheese, which is the cheese for the taste, the main taste." And he goes, but it's usually a bit too strong, so you have two other milder cheeses, but that complement the other cheese, but level it out so it's not too universally strong, but still gives you that flavor. And it was like a kind of weird, but sort of semi-get that concept.
Yeah.
And then he said that's what the wine is for, because we asked if it's actually needed, and he goes, It's not just for taste, but if you melt several cheeses together, they won't mix.
Oh, so it's emulsification.
Yeah, it's a binder
Candle
that
has melted.
causes the cheeses
Not
to
much use
mix.
anymore. Perhaps Mr. Kemp will replace it this evening.
Yeah, a good trick with that if you want to make a cheese sauce, you can get any old cheese and just mix it with a craft
And
syrup.
that was another
That will
speed
create
trap.
a binder as well.
But is there a reason you want to mix it with a craft single?
Yeah, it's got chemicals in it that makes the emulsification of binding cheeses. Because not all cheeses will actually melt down correctly.
Yeah.
It'll be like that. They'll split.
Okay.
Cheddar is like a tasty cheese that will split. If you heat it up, you'll see the oil come out. But if you throw in a craft single and mix it in,
So it's to stop them doing that. Yep.
yeah. Let's try and butter up this goat, shall we?
Hey girl, would you like an apple? The grumpy thing isn't interested.
What? Oh, the worm would have been interested. Maybe we could have carried the worm and the apple. How did we get there?
Up from the grave.
No, I think we wanted to put it on the grave. I think maybe it was in the
We dug up something.
It was
and
the badger hole, wasn't it? You can check out.
No, it was the shallow grave in the cemetery, wasn't it?
No, because we haven't done anything with that yet.
I just know we dug something up and there were worms around it. We picked up one of them.
Oh, it was the doll.
Yeah.
The fairy ring. I think is up here. Oh no, maybe it isn't here. Where was the fairy ring?
We tried to give it to the
Oh,
goat
it was
and he
north
just
of the
looked at us with even more pity.
Yeah. It's funny, speaking about cheeses, I was listening to the latest Fire Escape cast and they were talking about how like Dan has become like, oh man, we'll just hear, really into his wines, and that's the joke that because Dan eats such shit cheese, like the easy cheese out of a can and everything, that he could drink really good wines and pair it with really shit food. And Dan was making the point saying that that cheese is like his favorite food and he loves cheese, yet the only cheese he eats is like American nacho cheese.
This appears to be a
mac and
recently
cheese,
dug unmarked grave.
mozzarella.
Yeah, because I remember when he was talking about was it Oreos and nacho cheese? And I've gone, oh, it's a weird combination of that and cheese. Then when I suddenly realized what he means when he says nacho cheese, it's like, fucking hell, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I shall name you Kenneth the Second.
You tasted it right at my place. I had that Doritos nacho cheese dip.
I've
and
tasted it somewhere.
It just tasted like spicy water. It was gross.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was no
yeah.
ness to it. It was.
I don't remember the spice, but that's what I remember, it just being just nothing.
The worm has found a new home within the holes of the rotten apple.
We did it. We did it. For what purpose, though?
I don't know. Add some protein in it. Maybe the goat or the horse will be more interested in it.
All right. What do you? What is the best cheese? I want to hear everyone's opinion on. If you're at a
That's
supermarket and you're feeling like
disgusting,
cheese,
Psycho.
you're gonna go for one cheese. What is it?
I've got a favorite cheese. It's hard to say because it's a specific brand. There's a South Cape. I originally found it because it was the company called South Cape makes these packs of 4 cheeses. It's 4 types of, like one of them's a brie, one of them's a cheddar, the other one's the stuff that's covered with bits of not parsley, like cut up greens and I don't know.
Oh, the chives. The soft.
Yeah, chives.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
So it's got that, and then the 4th one is this super creamy, beautiful cheese. I found it's Gouda, but if I have any other type of Gouda, it's not the same. It's this particular brand of South Cape Gouda. It's the most delicious cheese.
It's funny you
Not
say
strong
that.
though. I sort of like strong cheese sometimes, so it doesn't have the strength that I sometimes like. But in terms of just if you add all the scores together, it's probably my favorite in terms of just eating it.
Hey girl, would you
Gouda
like
is
an
my
apple?
absolute favorite, especially smoked Gouda.
She is completely indifferent. Perhaps the apple is too spoiled for her liking.
Otherwise, there's a place near work, or my old work, that there's a pub we used to drink at, but and they made pizzas, and they had a 4 cheeses pizza that was at least the first proper, maybe the first 4 cheeses pizza I'd had, and it's like, oh, I get why you'd do this, because it was that thing of like one of the cheeses is incredibly strong, but the other cheeses mellow it out a bit. You still get that strength without it being overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, from other pizza stores, you're sort of rolling the dice on whether it's got that quality or whether it's just a random 4 cheeses on this pizza. So I don't necessarily want a normal cheesy pizza, but when it's proper cheeses mixed together, it's delicious.
Exactly. Tongs, that's what I thought as well. That's why I'm going to go here. Brie, yeah, Brie's really good. I had Brie last night when we went out for our anniversary dinner, and it was the bomb. It was, I guess it was like either baked or deep fried or something. It was crumbed in like panko crumbs, and it had like a cranberry sort of reduction around it. It was so good. Like everything we ate was 10 out of 10. It was amazing night. And because Lisa was sort of friends with the owner, they kept on giving us like free stuff. It's like, oh, you didn't order this, but have this. And even when we ordered dessert, he's like, are you okay if I give you a cheeky drink on the side of the dessert? I was driving, so I said, yeah, Lisa can do that. And he came back, he gave Lisa a port, which was actually homemade by someone he'd known, like an actual brewer person. And I got this like a really bitter, fizzy, sweet Campari type thing, which was fantastic. So good. That's in Footscray, Steve. We should go there one time. It's so great.
I'm not sure they would be interested. Good day.
Freshly picked apples, miss. Selling them at a steal. Would miss like to buy some?
No, thank you.
Damn, Tongs, that was a really like.
I can't see how that will help me.
Yeah, I didn't think of that until you guys were talking about it, but yeah, giving it back and going, this worm in this one would have been good.
Okay, maybe the goat. Maybe the goat wants a bit of protein. I doubt it, but we can see how we go. It actually, like going out last night and having dinner, it's been such a long time since we've done date night like that. So it just makes me want to do it even more. Like going out for a fancy dinner is one of the best things you can do.
Hey girl, would you like an apple?
What about the chickens, maybe?
The grumpy thing isn't interested.
Chickens like worms. Let's hightail it over to the shoulder cottage.
I do not wish to harass the hen.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it would love it.
I do not wish to harass the rooster. I do not wish to harass the hen. I've no desire to lug a block of wood about the countryside.
Man, what could we do with the apple and a worm? There is that old geezer in the pub that we haven't spoken to.
Mr. Shoulder told me he'd be at the Plough and Furrow.
Yeah, it was so good. Going out. Hawaii's going to be good too. Can't wait for that. Yeah, that'd be the best way to do it. This guy.
Hello.
Oh, aye, she's back again. Can't a man drink his tea in
Joey
peace?
Jojo Shabadoo
There's none
Jr.
for you here,
Joey
lass.
Jojo Jr. Shabadoo, sorry.
Horrible man. How many more sugar cubes is he going to add to his tea? He'll have no teeth left by the end of the day.
Wait. Horses love sugar cubes, don't they?
Hands off me, sugar!
I think this is supposed to be for all the
Isn't it
patrons.
salt
sir.
licks?
I said
Probably do though.
hands off. Come on, Joe. Be nice to our visitors.
Ha! This place has gone to buggery.
Oh, we did. Okay. This way.
Here, girl. Eat this. Good girl. Hopefully that's gained some trust between us. I don't wish to carry around my heavy excavation tools. I've managed to cut off a few lengthy strands.
Okay. So, we did cut off the horse's tail, Steve.
I must coat the hair with
I need to
something
wax them
waxy
though.
first, otherwise the string will have no friction.
Candle upstairs. Hopefully that works.
I know this is a point and click, but this is stretching my suspension of disbelief. But I guess it is just for a little girl
You kidding?
living in the wild.
What would
Maybe
be
light it
wrong?
first?
I don't have a match. Might have to speak to the musician. I can't think of anything else that's been waxy that we've used.
I'm not sure they would be interested. Do you have any fresh milk going spare?
Sorry, lass. I've none at all.
Never mind. Goodbye.
See you soon.
Something waxy. What about the residue on your hand after you pat the piss cat?
I don't need to use the filthy lavatories.
Yeah, rub it on piss cat. There you go. Great minds. Tongs and I always on the same frequency. What?
The bucket is rusty and full of holes. The bucket has seen better days. There's nothing else I wish to discuss at the moment.
Oh. What could we do? Maybe the church has candles that we could... Not really.
The flowers have long since dried out. Those have seen better.
Rub it on the excrement. And what about...
No, that won't work.
Do we have anything?
I'm not sure what that would achieve. I can't see how that will help me.
Yeah, I tried talking to him, but he's like, no, I've exhausted all the dialogue. I will rub it on the poo.
I shan't be dragging any of my possessions through that mess.
To give the girl a like poo-laden bow.
A random stranger. Maybe the witch's cottage. Maybe the witch has some sort of waxy residue.
Hello again.
Yes?
Do you have any fresh milk going spare?
Straight from the tea.
No, sorry.
Not to worry. Farewell. I'm not sure they would be interested. I shouldn't enter
Ooh. Wait.
What's that?
Oxen, something. It's resin.
Resin.
Hell yeah.
I didn't know what it was smelling, but whatever it was, it looked like something I could use.
It's
We could
firmly
use.
gripped to the stump. The surface of the resin has set rather dry. I don't think that worked.
Do we have to chisel it off, maybe?
Mix it with something.
I've collected some waxy resin.
Yeah, there we go. Resin D's.
Paint to black.
There we are. This
I
should
thought she
make
was gonna have a.
bowstring now.
Thought she was gonna have a flashback making the thing. Another fade to black.
I've done it.
Yes.
The bowstring seems to hold on sufficiently.
Off to the devil's teat. Toe.
Look what I have for you.
Oh, she's pretty good.
Yep. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Do we get to keep the fiddle? We give it to the musician?
My head is spinning. What happened? Hello? Where did she go? The girl left her fiddle behind. I'll take it with me in case I see her again.
Stolen.
I want to understand what just happened.
The abandoned fiddle achievement unlocked. Alright, so let's go to the pub. Yo, check this out.
I don't wish to give that away.
What?
Hello there.
Yes?
Is that your horse stationed in the alley?
Aye. Thistlecrack is her name.
That's an unusual name for a horse.
Aye. It were what she were called when I bought her. Glutton would be a better name. She likes her treats. But it feels wrong to change it.
Thank you for your time.
Make sure you watch my performance later, won't you?
I'll try.
Psycho, when you got your cats, were they named something differently and you named them, or...?
I can't think of anything else to talk about right now. Hello again, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Bateman.
Mr. Bryden has given me permission to excavate Hobbs Barrow.
Marvellous. I'm sorry you've had to sort all this out in my absence. When do we start?
Tomorrow, I hope. But first I need to recruit some locals to assist with the dig. It's too much work for me to do on my own.
I see. Bewley has its fair share of strapping young lads. You'll find assistance, Miss Bateman.
Thank you for your time.
Aye, Miss Bateman. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Sage was called Onion. That is great. Onion is a good name, though, for sure.
I kept the food theme, though.
When we got ramen from the pound, her name was Star Jasmine. For some reason, all the workers there would name all the animals the most horrible names, so then you would be forced to rename them.
Good day.
Fresh produce.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra, miss.
Good day.
Fresh produce.
Do you have any milk for sale?
Not today, sorry.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra, miss.
Good day.
Freshly picked apples, miss. Selling them at a steal. Would miss like to buy some?
No, thank you.
Perhaps you'd be more interested in a Scotch egg. Freshly made, just 1 penny
That's
each.
one thing I never got to
No,
try in
thank you.
Scotland, unfortunately.
Pies!
Haggis.
Scotch eggs. I had haggis. It was shit house.
Surprises me that sheep's bladder cooked in its own juices as shit house.
No, see, it's the shit house part of it is just it's just bland as like, you know, like eating like turnips and parsnips, like root vegetables in general. How there's no real flavor to them. You sort of have to add flavor, kind of like that. There was a mustard sauce on it, Tongs, like a honey mustard gravy sauce thing. Yeah, it was just.
Yeah.
It was underwhelming. That's what the problem was, right? I say shit house. It wasn't horrible. It was nowhere near great. Breakfast foods. We thought about, like, when we were coming up with names for ramen, we thought about, like, burrito, and then we moved to burrito. Pommes frites, as in, like, fries, French fries. A whole bunch of food names. It was always going to be a food name, but we settled on ramen because it just suits her.
Hello.
Good day.
Do you have any milk for me, Mum?
Not yet, Miss Tompkins.
Oh dear.
No sign of Mr. Ambrose?
I'm afraid not.
I can't think of anything else to talk about right now.
I still call Rams like Pommy sometimes.
The guy's finished his drawing.
Yep.
He's done his cool ass.
Has done his cool ass. With looked like magenta paint too.
Yeah, because even if it's not a cool ass, whatever he was drawing was very basic.
I shan't be visiting.
Considering it looked like he was doing a landscape.
That was a rune or something there.
Like in the movie Big Eyes.
I can't think of anything else to talk about right now.
Alright, well we know we're going to need to get goat's milk, but how are we going to do it? That is the question. We'll go over to the... What do we see? Explore Beulah and the surrounding area. Find workmen. Find milk. Vamp for a second, Steve. I'm just going to grab a drink. Run out of water.
Okay. Because the movie Big Eyes is just based on a true story. There's a guy painting, and he's like at a place where there's like a whole bunch of artists painting landscapes. I know he's selling them there, but yeah, she later sees him painting a landscape, like where you'd paint a landscape, and he's just sort of fiddling with the sketch on the easel thing. And this lady, he ends up charming this lady, marries her, and all the while she thinks he's an artist, but he isn't. He was just fucking around, pretending like he was painting, because he can't actually paint. He's like an artist that can't paint. So he was basically buying. He bought a bunch of paintings overseas, and he was basically had just enough skill to undo the signature and put his own signature on top. Yeah, so that's the sort of concept where it's like later on, it's like, sure you would have known your husband's an artist, and she's like, I don't know, I just saw him with an easel and assumed he was, and I guess and then she's doing the thing of like, I guess I never really did see him paint something.
I'm back.
But it's based on a true story. It's based on the Keane paintings, which are the paintings of the little girls. It's usually little girls with or children, often little girls with big eyes, and they're kind of very popular at one stage where the art world hated them, but regular people loved them. And then that's influential, like Shrek 2, where the kitty has that. Does that look? Puss in Boots has the big eyes look. That's kind of like a nod to the Keen paintings.
What do you want?
Do you have any fresh milk going spare?
If you can get any milk out of old Eunice, you're welcome to it.
Eunice?
Me goat. Good luck.
Oh yeah. Turns out we just had to ask rather than steal shit. Hello.
All right, we are doing this.
What the?
That's Samuel.
Oh, it's Black Phillip.
I'm not sure what that was.
Do you see? Do
I don't
you
know what's
see?
happening to me. All this superstitious nonsense must be getting to my head.
Oh, one thing I had last night at this restaurant as well was homemade cola, which was delicious. Because turns out real cola isn't brown at all. It's kind of like an orangey color, and it's not carbonated either. It was delicious though. It's so good.
I'm not going near that thing again.
Hang on, what are we gonna milk the horse then?
I'm not going near that thing again.
Milk the chickens.
Milk the chickens. Let's do it. We'll talk to him first and say, "Oi, we saw Black Phillip and your brother."
Well, did you get any milk out of her?
I tried and failed miserably.
She's a temperamental beast.
Perhaps you could milk
How do you
her
like
for
that?
me?
I'd like to help you, lass, but I've just had a flare-up in me joints. I worked myself too hard this morning.
Get him some
I couldn't bend down to save myself.
Is there anything I can do to help?
My wife would say I'm beyond any help. I'm certain of that. But if you know of any remedies for aching joints, please send them my way.
Oh,
See what I can do, Mr.
We'll talk to the witch.
I'm going to rest for a while. Ta-ra now.
I found this game has a lot of assumptions on how puzzles are resolved, but they fail miserably when you try, and you always have to find a back door.
We could milk the horse. It'd be like the episode of Jackass.
Daddy, I have something for you. I do hope you remember it. I've taken great care of it.
How many dollary dues, Steve, for you to do that?
Right.
I don't think there's any mandatory dues.
So free then?
Daddy, you must remember this. The day that started it all. It's the red urn you buried in the garden for me. My first ever excavation. Where should I
First
put
ever
it?
grave robbing.
Mother took away all the knickknacks that used to sit on these shelves. The pot might look nicer a little closer to the light anyway. Perfect. It will catch the light from your lamp so
Probably right there,
nicely.
Tongs.
There. I'm going to become a great barrow digger just like you. I hope the pot reminds you of those adventures we had together when I was a child, and how thankful I am for everything you've taught me. Now I must tell you about my visit to Pallinghurst. I found an arrowhead.
Digging in the Barrows reminds me of Lord of the Rings again.
Yeah.
Where, so, spoilers for those that have never read Lord of the Rings. But, so Merry, when they go down the Barrows and basically get saved by Tom Bombadil, they get to choose like a reward, from the treasure in the Barrows, and Merry gets this knife, which later, many books later, because I think it was actually 6 books, right? It was like 2-parter books
Two.
for Lord of the Rings.
Well, the ones I had were just 3. Basically, the movies match them
So I
closely.
read all 6 of them. They were sort of split up. Anyway, so when it comes down to the Witch King, Witch King, is that his name?
No,
It's the king of the ring wraiths.
That might also be the Witch King. Yeah.
Let's just say his name is the Witch King. You know who I'm talking about. In order to defeat him, Merry uses this knife, which is it has this spell on it, an actual special ability in the knife. But I guess because they cut out the whole Tom Bombadil and Barrow White section out of the movie, they had to come up with a reason why Eowyn was able to defeat the Witch King. And it was because she was not a man, she was a woman. It was just a real strange change to the movie.
Well, it was just sort of, just not. I guess she just stabbed him on the spot, because I don't think it was because of that, but it was just a really cool line. I really, really love that line, even though her ability to kill him didn't make that much sense. And it was one of those things where, like, if they did a thing where he took a sword and then later on she picked it up, they would have matched, except they had to cut out. It was sort of right, like, there is a reason they cut out the Tom Bombadil part, because it
would have been great.
Would have ruined. Yeah, that's Tom Bombadil.
You get Robin Williams to play Tom Bombadil, and you're set. It's just the perfect casting.
I mean, I wouldn't mind Robin Williams in anything, but I don't know. People were up in arms about the cutting that up, but to me, it's like it is really a side story. It's like it is really like if anything can be cut, it's Tom Bombadil. Other than the fact that there's a reason, it's like setting up the sword.
The sword, yeah.
But yeah, the reason it works is because the Barrows were the resting place for a bunch of people who weren't part of a kingdom that became the Ringwraiths, and they were at war with the one of the bigger kingdoms. And so the sword that he picked up from the Barrow was forged with hatred, complete hatred towards the king, that the sword would go towards the soldiers that were fighting.
Yeah.
And so that it was like the Ringwraith couldn't be hurt by any weapons of mortal, but because it was forged with such hatred towards that king, when Merry stabbed him within the spirit world, it did actually have energy. Like it was still a sword even in the spirit world, because it sort of discharged all that hatred into him and killed him. And that was the reason it worked.
Yeah.
What looked like a random sword, but it did actually work against the Ringwraith.
I think I like Tom Bombadil as well. Like there's the Weeping Willow stuff as well, where he saved them from falling asleep and all that. But I think there's like that mysteriousness to him. Like, what is he? Is he an Astari like Gandalf and Saruman and all that? Or is he his own beast? Maybe there is something that explains that I just don't know. But I just love the mystery about him. I think it would have been great.
Good day.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just thought converting it into a movie, it was obvious why it would be cut.
From this, surely.
Well, I thought it was.
It's for someone else, Mr. Bryden.
Yes.
How awesome would have the Barrow Whites been, though? That would have been cool as hell.
May I have some?
Well, I don't have the ingredients, I'm afraid.
Oh, what?
What do you need to make it?
It's a simple blend made of natural elements. Elderflower and flirtwort. I can make the poultice for you if you bring me these things. Then it just needs to be applied directly to the joints. That should ease his burden.
Thank you.
Oh man, flirtwort.
Where can I find some flirtwort?
Flirtwort is not commonly found around Bewley.
Oh great.
It's a perennial shrub that bears small white flowers.
I know where that is.
Find some growing out on moors if you're lucky.
It's near the painter.
Where can I find some elderflower?
There used to be quite a few elder plants growing here in Herne Wood, but they've long since gone. Nowadays, you might find the shrub growing within a hedgerow or a private garden.
Oh,
I see. What does elderflower look like?
Elderflowers are small, white, and grow in clumps on the elder shrub. Elder shrubs can grow in all shapes and sizes. Just look out for the clumps of tiny white flowers.
You guys like the taste of elderflower? I love it so much. It's so good.
Farewell.
It's so fresh and sweet and... Oh, hello.
No, it was a real flower.
Yeah. Elderflower syrups are used in like a lot of things like cocktails and cordials and things like that. Really tasty. Kind of doesn't taste like it, but in the same genre as like rose water, kind of.
Excuse me, Miss Bateman. I'm in something of a hurry. But while we're here, Mrs. Duplancy has told me you were making inquiries into my
Oh
health.
shit.
Please
Yeah.
don't go
We pay for being a dobber.
Miss Bateman. She has a lot on her hands.
Dibber-dobbers wear
Doesn't need
nappies.
to worry about me on top of it all. My health is just fine. Speak no more of it to Mrs. Duplancy. Do I make myself clear?
I didn't wish
Elderflower
to intrude
chocolates.
upon private affairs. I won't do it again, Father Roach.
Excellent. Now, farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. Which work is that quote from?
Romeo and Juliet. Oh, he's gone.
Whenever we're in
We
a
gotta-
scenario, Steve, we'll get you to try some elderflower because it is so good.
We're gonna tell the old lady that he's got terminal cancer next.
Private garden. This is kind of a private garden. I bet they mean at old mate's mansion.
Yeah, it's one of the farmers. It's either.
I was thinking
I just
like
think of them as
Lord
stole the
Duplancy,
place. Yeah. Oh yeah.
whatever his name is. Okay.
Oh. That's because the worms.
Yeah. Where is the? It'd have been here. Which way was it to the stream? Up, I think. Yep.
This looks like it might be elderflower. I'll
Oh.
take some.
Okay. That's the easy one then. Wormwort is the... Oh, we've got to think. Let's go all the way. Let's try the farms. Have you seen The Witch, Steve?
The movie The Witch?
Yeah.
No, don't think so.
You should fix that.
I've no desire to lug a block of wood about the countryside.
Haven't tongs. Really good. Really, really good. Okay, that's just there again. Might just quickly talk to the witch again and see. Tell me about that
Good
wormwood.
day.
Yes.
Flirtwort,
Where
I
can
mean.
I find some flirtwort?
Flirtwort is not commonly found around Bewley. It's a perennial shrub that bears small white flowers. You might find some growing out on moors if you're lucky.
Thank you.
On the moors. Okay.
Farewell.
Yeah, it's not like a slasher or anything like that. It's more tension that you feel throughout.
I was watching a thing of these guys do like reviews, and they did a whole thing of they watched one of them watched the box set of Nightmare on Elm Street, and then they had a trivia. They did a thing where they did a trivia challenge afterwards, and there's one of them had seen him over and over, and the other one had just maybe seen him when he was little and just got the box set recently and watched him. So one of them dominated. There's a bit where he got asked, the guy that's not experienced or hadn't seen him that much, got asked about what this guy was doing in a certain scene, and he goes, he was lounging back, and then he sort of made a guess. I think it was patting a dog, and he goes, no. Another guy said with 100% confidence, he is throwing a baseball against the wall. And he goes, no, it's throwing darts. He goes, no way, it's throwing a baseball. I have a memory of him throwing a baseball. And he goes, no, it's darts against the wall. And they showed the clip, because afterwards they edited it together. And the guy is lounging in his bed, and he's throwing darts, but in one hand, and the other hand he's got a catcher's mitt on, a baseball mitt. And they put the caption, someone throwing darts with a baseball mitt will fuck with anyone's memory.
That is weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also weird. I guess the idea is he's generally into sports, but it's like Super Mario World, where there's that creature that's got the football gear on, but he throws baseballs at you. It's kind of like that, where you don't think about it until you realize that's really fucking weird when you actually notice.
I certainly don't.
Having trouble finding.
The road disappears over the horizon. I see nothing but moorland.
But that's what we want. We want to find the flower in the moorland.
Look into the moorlands?
I try, like, you can't do anything as soon as you go in there.
The road disappears over the horizon. I see nothing but moorland.
It could be the Devil's Toe. That's in. Hang on, we'll come back here in a second. I have already done this, but this I'd consider kind of moorland. Like that is moorland. We just knock this shit over.
I don't wish to dig it up.
Unless it's not next to the Barrow, is it? Maybe that's it.
Because this farm was in the middle of Orleans, wasn't it?
Finally, go first.
Man.
Someone has carved the letters AR into the stone.
Unless we have to speak to someone about the flower, someone else? I don't know. No clickables. Oh, hang on. There's like sort of secondary information.
On the side, yeah.
Okay. Say much. The stone unturned thing is a little bit suspicious. Maybe I can turn over that stone here. Like maybe it's being literal.
It's the barrow itself that I'm more interested in excavating.
All right, what do we think, guys? Where are we gonna go? Can I go? I think I've already been here, but what maybe? What about up from these houses? Like, just back here.
I have nothing else to ask for the time being.
Hello.
Good day.
Do you have any milk for me, Mum?
Not yet, Miss Tompkins.
Oh dear.
No sign of Mr. Ambrose?
I'm afraid
There's a
not.
guy at high school called Gary that could produce milk.
From where?
Where do you think from?
Because there's different types of milking.
No, no. Okay, from where milk normally comes from.
I really don't want a mutton pie or a Scotch egg. I really don't want... Good day.
Freshly picked apples, miss. Selling them at a steal. Would miss like to buy some?
No, thank you.
Fresh Scots.
And that was another Steve
There's
back.
nothing else I wish to discuss at the moment.
Gonna have to maybe ask the innkeeper. We'll ask
I
this
have nothing else to ask for the... There's nothing else I wish... There's nothing else...
He doesn't want to speak to anyone in here.
I'm a bit taken back about the lactating thing.
Nothing here. See this?
A humble local dwelling.
We haven't gone and seen old mate. Up here. Yeah.
Mr. Long mustn't be in.
Can I click on show what's clickable on the tiny Thomasina screen? Tiny Thomasina screen? Oh, the one when you walk out and it has the thing? No, it takes control completely.
I don't need to go in there again.
Doesn't want to speak to any of these people as
Morton
well.
pies!
Morton pies. Anything in the... Oh, hang on. What if it's not these dry flowers, surely?
The flowers have long since dried out. I don't want them. That's not mine to interfere with. This must belong to Mrs. de Plancy.
As long as I'm all ears.
Good day to you, pet.
Hello, Mrs. de Plancy.
Okay, we can check
If
it out.
you're looking for Father Roach, he won't be back until tomorrow.
Your rat.
Where is Father Roach?
You might have noticed the good father has a green thumb.
Yeah.
He's gone to visit his friend in the countryside to purchase some seedlings for his tower garden.
Where is Father Roach's tower garden?
Why, on top of St. Edmund's, of course. He's got a lovely collection of cuttings up there. You'll have to ask him to show you.
Okay.
It does sound rather pleasant. It's a shame he's not around.
Well, he does have a spare key for the tower door somewhere.
Oh, we already stole the key, I think. Maybe.
Do you know where Father Roach keeps his spare key?
No, that's his business. If I did know, I'd fetch it myself and take you up there.
Not to worry.
Okay.
I do recall him saying he hid it outside somewhere, for safekeeping.
Probably
like.
in that loose...
Were it in the graveyard? I
Ah.
don't know. Best wait till he gets back, pet.
That's a weird place if he's buried the key in that grave.
Yeah, so dig up all the graves just to make sure though.
25 years ago. William Bateman, perhaps you remember him?
Bateman?
And then bury all the bodies again upside down.
I remember a William Baldwin. He were a right miserable sod.
My
Ooh,
father was only in Bewley
burn.
briefly, from what I understand. I'm trying to piece together what he was doing here.
You'll have to ask him. I don't recall anyone of that name.
My father took part in an excavation at Hobbs Barrow. Do you recall the excavation?
I concern myself only with matters related to the church. I'm sorry I
It's a
can't
sorry
be more
existence.
helpful.
What do you make of these stones?
They are not Christian. I'm certain of that.
I agree. Much older, I feel.
That's helpful.
Older than Christianity? Oh, the youth of today.
Oh, Jesus!
These box pews
Just
are
one of
most
those.
unusual. I've never seen any quite so tall.
We Bewley folk like our privacy. Many of the pews are owned by individual families.
Hey, Team Kayla.
Kayla is
Thanks,
raiding.
You've been raided. I have a donut in my car.
Howdy, how you doing? Good to see you. Hello, everyone.
I'll
Didn't
be
even know
your
you were
playing.
streaming. What were you playing today? I know that clip is for Skyrim, but I doubt you were playing that.
I think I saw Kayla started up just as you were.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. You were playing Skyrim. Oh, nice. Okay. Sweet. Usually the clips are, I don't know, maybe someone made that clip today. Nice. That's cool. That's really cool. I haven't played that game in such a long time. Such a long time. Everyone in here, we're playing this game. It is called Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. It is a point-and-click adventure game that was made, I think, last year. It's a Vinny Caravella special. He loves it. Yeah, and it's been good so far. It's kind of weird, kind of Lovecraftian maybe. But yeah, we're enjoying it. Trying to get the platinum? Nice. Is there any ridiculous requirements for the platinum? Like beat it twice or 3 times or something? As you running around to get a donut? I haven't had a donut. Cool. Well, welcome in. Have a relax. You know, point and click games in general are very sort of chill. We're just walking around and trying to solve this puzzle at the moment. We're trying to get up until the top of the church. The priest has gone out, and so we're trying to find his key.
Yeah, this one's just actually had non-point standard point and click things, but this current situation we're in is probably close to a normal point and click puzzle where we need 2 types of flowers to make a poultice.
Exactly. Yeah. We've seen some crazy business, people hanging from trees and goats that are evil and all that. So fun times. Tongs is getting the Skyrim itch. Wow. I mean, it runs on everything these days, right? That and Resident Evil 4 are running on everything. It's like the new, there's that meme that goes around. It's like Doom can run on anything, where they actually had Doom running on a little Lego brick and things like that. So probably Skyrim's next. Awesome.
Does the name Saxnot mean anything to you?
Is that a village near Erdlaw?
No.
And as I've said, I think you need at least 3 people for a sax knot.
Jesus. Getting excited for the new Zelda, Saiku? Yeah, it's I mean, Breath of the Wild's a good game. It's not a great game, but it's a good game for sure. So hopefully the new one, builds upon it, makes it.
Steve once again lives up to his name as the Filthbag Pirate.
Steve is always the Filthbag. Yeah. So people always say that that Breath of the Wild is the greatest game ever made, but there's some obvious flaws I think that they could change to make it so much better. So I could never call it the greatest game ever made if there were not these glaring things. But very good time.
2 glaring issues on otherwise a fantastic, charming game.
Totally, yeah. Everyone talks about the durability stuff, which that in itself is kind of annoying. But my main problem is the memories in Breath of the Wild are the best parts, like the little nuggets of story that you get from each sort of area around the world and all that. The new one, I think, should have a ton more of those, and they shouldn't really be as missable as they can be. I don't know. Story's a big thing for me. It's all fun and games walking around and across a big world and all that, but you want a breadcrumb trail at some points.
To me, the 2 things are, the durability in terms of gameplay, and then the climbing. The fact that most of it's based on climbing, and then you can't climb when it's raining, and it randomly rains. That's the thing that really kills me. Other than durability is probably the worst.
When Lisa played it, she was always getting annoyed with the raining constantly. It seems maybe her game, the rain was at like 75% of the time. But
I think that's probably the thing with it being random, is that sometimes for different people, it'll probably be like, oh, I barely saw any, and then if you roll up dice wrongly over and over, you'll get 70% rain.
Yeah, but the hardest thing for her was the blood moons, because she doesn't play a lot of games. So when she was playing it, she would go and clear out most of like a camp or whatever it is, and then the blood moon happens and everything just respawns, and it's just it's not really good for people that are trying to find their footing.
Yeah,
but
well,
I don't want to
that
shit
I
on the
didn't
game.
mind because it's sort of that thing of like, oh, you're not supposed to cleave areas out, so it's like, okay, but I think the game in general is like, it's got that reputation of it's one I got my dad to play, or somebody who doesn't use, and to me it's a little bit too complicated. Like, to me it's a gamer's game. Like, the sort of seems to be not, because like when you actually play it, it's like, oh, to get into this area you need to cook this food, and then not to cook this food, the game won't tell you how to cook it. You'll just have to experiment with find ingredients everywhere in order to experiment to do this. Like, it's a very complex for like
there's kind
someone
of
who doesn't play games.
a language of experimentation in the game that maybe people that are new to games might not realize you could. But either way, I think the game, it's Breath of the Wild is a good game. It's a very good game.
Yeah.
But the sequel hopefully is fantastic. So yeah, that'll be awesome.
Especially if they took the various criticisms to heart, then should be good.
Yeah, Psycho, some of the moves are real difficult. I think the one that I found out about 3/4 of the way is parrying the Guardian lasers with any old shield. That was a game changer. Once I figured that out, I was really good. I haven't seen the new trailer. I'll have to check it out for sure. I'm also a Skyward Sword apologist. Like, I really love Skyward Sword. Everyone like thinks I'm a lunatic for liking that game, but I don't know. It's old school Zelda. I love it.
Do you have any fresh milk going spare?
I don't, Pet.
Not to worry. Thanks for your time.
Okay, so I think we've got a clue to go and dig in the cemetery for the key, potentially. I will check it out after this songs when I eat my dinner. Sure. I think it was this way, right? Or maybe the key was hidden behind one of these plucks. I'm gonna just test it out just in case.
No, that won't achieve anything useful.
So I'm pretty sure.
I may be a barrow digger, but I am no grave robber.
Really?
That's also, as you can tell, she has a distinction between excavating barrows and grave robbing, which, if you don't know what a barrow is, it's a resting place of someone, but it's more of a the distinctive part of a barrow. It's a chamber instead of just a grave. And the distinctive part is it's usually built in such a way that it has a mound of earth above it. And so, yeah, when she says barrow excavator, she means actually digging up someone's resting place to raid it.
John Purchase, dearly beloved husband of Florence. Here lies Margaret Tillett, beloved mother, wife, and sister. Today she dances with angels. Forever in light, Anne Kemp. Joseph Davis. Samuel Bryden.
Oh.
Death is only a shadow across the path to heaven.
So he was the guy that was hanged in the tree near Black Phillip.
Here lies Elizabeth Farnaby. This appears to be a recently dug, unmarked grave. This appears to
That's
be
gonna have the key.
That's what I thought, but I tried the little trowel and that didn't work.
No, that won't work. No, that's not it.
The worm. The worm dig it up.
William Paxton, modest and gentle of heart.
I wonder if I can put the apple back in. Here.
This is where I dug up Jane's ragdoll.
Oh, we can't.
Oh, it's still alive. The crow didn't get him.
No. Crows like KFC chips. They don't like worms anymore. Maybe Wally will know.
Hello, Wally.
Go away! You gave the door back to my sister.
It wasn't very nice of you to bury her favourite toy, Wally.
I gave it to the fair folk, and you stole it back from them.
You don't really believe in fairies, do you?
Yeah, try that, Tom.
You're
This
old
didn't
enough
work.
to know better.
Couldn't use my inventory.
Real, and thanks to you, I'm cursed.
There's no such thing as curses either, Wally.
Go away.
Go away. KFC chips, yeah, Psycho, they're amazing. You'll have to check them out. Yeah, so you can't access the inventory in this screen, unfortunately. Maybe if I do it outside of it, though, maybe that'll work. I doubt it, but...
Is that one of those things where they don't have chips in America? I mean, KFC ones?
Yeah, they've only got... some of them have wedges, but mostly it's just potatoes and
Biscuits.
gravy, like mashed potato.
That won't achieve anything useful.
We were watching Survivor, and there was a... like a KFC reward for the Survivor people that win the challenge. I think it was Lanky and Psycho were like, what the? Like KFC chips? That's a thing? When for us,
They're delicious too.
KFC chips is the thing. Not a thing, is the thing. It's so good.
Yeah.
In memory of William Ager. In memory of Peter Black.
Maybe she'll say one's loose or something.
In memory of Mabel Hurst. In memory of Benjamin Garkham. In memory of Millicent Smith. In memory of Henry Crozier. In memory of Romeo Hegg, dearly missed by his beloved Juliet.
Oh.
I mean,
That
enjoy
one.
it.
That one I reckon could be it. Yeah, because he's always going on
This
about it.
is, yeah, doing a Shakespeare.
I think I can chip away at this
we
plaster.
got it. Puzzles.
There's a key behind here. This has to be Father Roach's spare.
Hey. We just leave it like this, though.
Make it obvious. Or make it look like, to anyone who didn't know, that was the resting place of the key, that someone just grave robbed the Ashes place, whatever it's called.
Crematorium?
That's the place. Yeah, I don't know what the name is for the actual deposit where they're kept.
Oh, the door's out here, actually. This is the one we could never get in.
Capital.
Yeah, it's, I mean, the chicken in general is pretty shit there, Tongs, I reckon. Especially anything with a bone. Boneless chicken is way better than bone chicken at places like that, but yeah, I mean, when it's greasy and it's served to you by teenagers.
Yeah, the popcorn chicken's good. I found their burgers are pretty good.
Oh, Subway. Psycho, I still haven't had Subway in like 5 years after the incident. There it
Father
is.
Roach has amassed quite the collection here. I don't wish to disturb it. A small label on the pot reads Flirtwort. This is just what I need.
Yeah, Gaera was talking to me about KFC. He went to the buffet, all you can eat, and he loved it.
A small label on the pot.
Or you can eat
reads
KFC.
Flirtwort.
I'd do that. They'll probably be different
I could just
than
make
regular
this up.
KFC.
I already took some.
Okay, I already took some. Cool.
Father Roach has amassed quite the collection
Alright.
here.
So
I
for
don't
those
wish
that
to
are in
disturb
here,
it.
that have just come in, we needed to find elderflower and flirtwort, or whatever the hell it's called, because we need to create a medicinal salve for an old man that has aches and pains, so then he can milk a goat for us,
the
so
key
then we
back.
can use that milk from the goat to buy our way into a rich man's house. It sounds real weird when you say it out
stays
loud.
on.
I should have put it back.
Okay, now we can go to the witch's house.
Of our point and click stuff, that hasn't been the most convoluted puzzle either.
Good day.
G'day, Cobber.
Yes?
Yeah.
I
The
think I have some Flirtwort here.
Show me.
what was it? Book of Unwritten Tales? That was the one that was just shocking with that
Let me
stuff.
know when you found some elderflower too.
So like you gotta get 3 items to do this thing, and then one of those items you need 4 items to get that, and then one of those items you need 5 items to get that. It's like, Jesus Christ.
We still have to go
I
through
have
number
some
2.
elderflowers here.
Show
Yeah.
me. No, this is not elderflower.
What?
It's cowbane. An easy mistake to make.
Are you
The two look
kidding?
very similar.
Oh,
It's safe to eat, as long as you're not a cow. Very toxic to cattle.
where can I find some elderflower?
There used to be quite a few elder plants growing here in Herne Wood, but they've long since gone. Nowadays, you might find the shrub growing within a hedgerow or a private garden.
Damn it.
I see. What does elderflower look like?
Elderflowers are small, white, and grow in clumps on the elder shrub.
Subverting
Elder
expectations
shrubs can grow
again.
in all shapes and sizes. Just look out for the clumps of tiny white flowers.
Farewell.
It's that whole thing they coded in, and the graphics to get to the top of that tower was completely pointless.
I think we're in a bind here because in order to get to the private garden, if I'm thinking correctly, we need the milk. But in order to get the milk, we need the elderflower to make the cell for the dude that gets the milk. So it's like a chicken and egg scenario. We can't actually get the elderflower from the private garden without getting the milk to get to the private garden. Okay.
I've no use for the cowbane.
Can we give the cowbane to the goat? Go up there again. Hopefully it's still on. Potted plants, potted.
Father Roach has amassed quite the collection here. I don't wish to disturb it. A small label.
Private garden. The only private gardens we kind of have. I think we've already been to the cottage though.
Maybe ask him. He's still in the house, or is he in the pub?
He's at the pub. Let's go to the pub. It's like in the window box.
The window box is well out of reach.
Maybe go upstairs to our bedroom. Oh, guess not.
I've stored my case in there. A box. A sturdy looking thing.
Alright.
I can't think of anything else to talk about right now. There's nothing else I...
What about old mate down the alleyway? Oh, you said that this guy might... Hey, who's this?
Jane.
Hello, Jane.
Miss, watch me juggle.
Oh, that's right. She's the one that... Gee, she's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I can't do 3.
Very impressive.
I can juggle even more apples.
Hello, Jane.
Miss,
It's not like Gretel from Sound of Music.
Very impressive.
I can juggle even more apples.
Okay, anything here? Could be in the herb section.
This looks like elderflower to me.
Oh, yeah.
Good day.
Fresh produce?
Is that elderflower you're selling?
Aye. Perfect for teas and tinctures?
Any
Yeah.
good for sore joints?
Aye. Penny a bunch?
I'm afraid I don't have any money.
No.
Sorry, miss. Does it look like I'm running a charity?
Trade.
Can we work something out? A trade, perhaps?
I deal in cash only.
It's got a nice
miss.
apple.
No coin, no elderflower. What do you take me for?
Goodbye.
Ta-ra, miss.
Who is going to give me a coin? Maybe someone in here. They're my friends.
I have nothing else to ask for. There's nothing else I wish.
Unless we talk to the farmer and say, hey, I'm going to be able to sort your joints out, but I need a coin. Try that.
Mm.
Hello? He's not answering.
Damn it. Where would Agent 47 find a coin? Probably by a telephone?
Or if there's a fountain.
Maybe the railway station where they buy tickets? Okay. Attention! Bewley Station is closed for the time being due to track damage between Bewley and Bakewell. We apologise for any inconvenience called Midland Railway.
Hello?
It's just like Melbourne rails.
Yeah. Knock on old mate's door and say, hey, we shouted you all those, drinks earlier.
Bugger off!
Ah, the unmistakable charm of old Cyril.
What if we steal from the church from the collection plate?
I don't think anyone is home.
I mean, it's not beneath us, is it? A threepence?
Well, she doesn't consider herself a grave robber, we've learned.
I can't think of anything else to talk about right now.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure they would be interested.
Oh.
I'm not sure they would be interested.
Why do we need the cowbane now, then? Oh, unless we can swap it. She won't know.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Oi! Keep your grubby hands off me produce.
Sorry.
Okay, we need a distraction.
I don't wish to give that away. Hello, Jane.
Miss, watch me juggle.
Oh no, now we have to watch her juggle. Oh, it takes so long.
Could throw a coin, or maybe go
Throw a coin.
to the far side of the... Yeah. Or go to the far side of the square and get our son's pistol out and just make a few bullet impacts near
I
her.
don't wish to give that away.
That'll distract her.
I'm not sure they would be interested.
How do we make her... use a feel on self? Okay. Huh?
I'm not sure they would be interested.
Oh, maybe we can speak to the musician and say, oi, you're up. Doubt it.
I have nothing else to ask for the time being. I'm not sure they would be in. Jammed shut. The wood.
What if we use the chisel?
The drawers don't open. I can't store anything in them. The drawers don't...
What if we hold her at knife point?
I can't think of...
We could drop the knife in front of her, and then when she goes to take it to one of the guards to dispose of, that's when we swap them.
Totally.
I'm not sure they would be interested. No, that won't work. I'm not sure they would... No, that's not it.
Why'd you walk over there and tease?
Maybe you can give the...
Sure what that would achieve.
Now you can give the apple back to the guy and cause a scene.
I dare you to juggle an extra apple.
There we go.
Easy. Yuck, a worm.
Throw it into that.
Yes!
Yes. Oh yes! Look at that. Now we're thinking.
Looks like the little girl was about running off to Dom.
Managed to swap them without her noticing.
The swap achievement. Okay. Now we can go to Old Witcheroo.
Good day. I have the ingredients you asked for.
Wonderful. Hand them over.
Now, for tomorrow, I was thinking about doing another stream. Should I do
Here you go.
Hitman stream?
Tell Mr. Bryden to apply this poultice to
Should
the
I
area in
do
question.
a Rocksmith
It
stream?
works wonders.
Thank you very much.
Guess I could see how I feel in the morning. Excited to do both. Really firing Hitman. But then I haven't played bass in a while either. Saturday morning we'll be starting our Uncharted 3 journey again. We'll be doing Uncharted 3 because I've done the first two already.
Yes?
I've got a poultice for your joints, Mr. Bryden. It was
Give me
prepared
that
by
milk.
Mildred Walker.
Who?
You may know her as Mother Mildred.
Oh, thank you, lass. That Mildred knows what she's doing. I should have thought to see it myself.
She said to apply it directly to where the pain
Excellent,
is.
Artie. Hope
It
you
should
can
work
make it
very
then.
swiftly.
I'll give it a try. Oh, that did the trick, lass. I feel like a lad of 20 again. I suppose you'll be wanting me to milk old Eunice for you in return.
Yep.
If you don't mind, I'd appreciate it.
A fair exchange. Stand well back, lass.
Believe me, I'm not coming an inch closer.
He said stand well back. I just did like, how fast is the milk coming out?
Looks like you just pissed in the bucket.
There you are, lass.
Different
Some
type of
fresh
milk.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bryden.
All right. Eunice the Provider achievement. Maybe Pisscat is his son. I feel we haven't seen a lot of Pisscat in this game.
So mean.
I'll let the worm enjoy his new home.
Who's this guy over here? Oh, he's going to be to, like, for
Good day.
Hello there.
manship, whatever you call it, you know,
My
hard
name
labor.
is Thomasina. What's yours?
Oh, yeah.
Ralph. Not seen you around before.
I'm just visiting. What brings you to the market today?
I purchased a Scotch egg for me tea. You want a bite?
No, thank you. I'm looking for some help with an excavation tomorrow. Might you be interested?
Sorry, miss. I've already got my own job.
Enjoy your Scotch egg.
I will.
Just Scotch eggs sounds so delicious.
I picture a curried egg, and thus it doesn't seem so delicious to me.
So when you say you picture that, do you know what a Scotch egg is then? Because it's not that.
No, I'm not sure.
So it's a soft-boiled egg. This is the tricky part because it's really hard to do. It's a soft-boiled egg that is encased in sausage meat and then crumbed with panko breadcrumbs. So when you fry it, the sausage meat cooks, but the egg still remains like gooey and delicious.
That'd be nice, actually.
Mm.
I pictured like doing something with scotch, the whiskey, and
Oh, right.
like that's why I pictured deviled eggs, where it's like doing some shitty flavoring thing to a otherwise nice egg.
Mutton pies!
Guess what I've got for you, lady?
I've got a pail of fresh milk here for you, Miss Tompkins.
You haven't.
I bloody well have.
Mum, you've saved my hide. Thank you.
Are you all right?
I'm worried about Mr. Ambrose. Any road, I'm heading back to Panswick Manor now. Would you still like to meet his lordship?
Very much so.
Now, I can't guarantee you'll be home, all right? He's
Hey,
a
this
very
is just
busy
to
man.
meet him.
I'll take my chances.
She don't even know if he's. Or do we need something from him?
Come on over. It's not much further.
I'm afraid of little streams.
It's a nice little jump.
Nice. Hello, lovely.
What time to call this?
Sorry, Mum.
Give it here, then.
What?
What the hell is this muck?
Goat's milk, Mum.
You daft bint. Since when does his lordship take goat's milk with his tea? Oh, he will not be pleased.
Steve, can you Google what a bint is?
Before I clip you over the head.
Sorry,
Silly person. I've heard of used. So in context, it's a silly person, like a exactly like she used it, like someone who's done something stupid or silly. I'll look it up officially. Derogatory term for a girl or woman.
Oh, wow. You know what? I reckon this is the perfect time to save it and call it before we meet the wizard. Wizard.
Borrowed from Arabic.
Wizardo. Awesome. Well, that has been fantastic, guys. We got through a lot. Stream is what? Over 3 hours long. We had some technical difficulties at the start, of course, but we managed to survive those. And yeah, it's good to see where this. I don't know how long this game is. Maybe we'll have one more episode. Maybe there'll be two. Who knows? We'll see. Lots of progress for sure. Let me see if there's anyone online that we can shoot a raid to. Limmy's not taking raids anymore, but he's we might just call it there then. Unless I can find someone else. Let's see who is.
I've never seen a raid in Midnight Sumo, so I'm assuming we can't do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna see another point and click game. See if there's anyone playing anything. No one is playing Day of the Tentacle. That's a shame. Full Throttle. Let's have a look. Yeah, if someone's playing Full Throttle, that'd be rad.
Maybe Skyrim, because if a lot of our raiders came from Skyrim, they might not mind going back to it.
Let's do that. We do have some Skyrim. All right. Well, let's go across to. Let me. This. We have a lady by the name of Parole Alvento that will raid, who is playing Skyrim. Locking you guys in the raid cannon, putting all your bullets in the chamber, ready to fire you off. Thank you again so much for joining. Thank you very much, Kayla, for raiding. Always welcome. And for you raiders, chilling out and watching. All right, sending you off now. We will catch you next time.
Thanks for watching.